to the incident location to continue the search for the missing pilot.
Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero is keeping his cards close to his chest about the delays in appointing a successor to Kenny Gunene in the transport portfolio. Gunene resigned as councillor last month after becoming embroiled in controversy linked to murder-accused Katiso Katie Molefe, who is alleged to have orchestrated DJ Sambori's murder. Questions emerged when the suspended Patriotic Alliance deputy leader was found at Molefe's home during a police raid last month. Alfara Mushwana reports.
Insiders have told Eyewitness News that the Patriotic Alliance had asked Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero to appoint Liam Jacobs as the MMC for transport, but Morero was not pleased with the proposal. It's understood Morero feels the transport portfolio may be too demanding for a 24-year-old councillor with no prior experience in government. Jacobs, who recently defected from the DA to join the Patriotic Alliance, was sworn in as a Johannesburg councillor following Kenny Gunene's resignation. When questioned about the delays in appointing a transport MMC, this is what Morero had to say.
The mayor should be given the space to finalize, so we will do so. At this stage, I'm the acting MMC of transport until further notice.
The Patriotic Alliance has now appointed a law firm to probe Gunene's matter. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
The presidency has not decided on appropriate consequences for the SANDF's chief's ill-advised comments during a recent visit to Iran. Earlier this week, SA National Defense Chief Rudzani Mapwanya travelled to Tehran, where he reportedly said South Africa and Iran must strengthen political and military ties. His comments have not gone down well in Pretoria, with the presidency and the Department of National Relations issuing a sharp rebuke of his overstepping his role. Thabiso Koba reports.
The presidency says the army chief has the authority to travel to foreign countries and discuss military-related matters. However, it says Rudzani Mapwanya's comments in Iran went beyond that and into foreign policy. At a media briefing in Pretoria yesterday, presidency spokesperson Vincent Magwenya says action will be taken against the army chief.
With respect to DA calls for a court-martial, it's also difficult to speak to. One will have to look at really what constitutes the sort of grave nature of charges or accusations that will require a court-martial.
Magwenya says President Cyril Ramaphosa will be meeting with the army chief over the next few weeks to get a report on his trip to Iran. Thabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
Gold is trading at $3,344.86 an ounce. The rand is at 17.57 to the dollar, 23.80 to the pound, 20.50 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.63 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays in Tembisa along the R21 North as you approach Olifantsfontein Road. Please be on the lookout there while travelling in Midrand. An accident has been reported right on the N1 South, right near Allendale Road. Delays coming out of New Road.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 24 and 25 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour: search and rescue efforts will resume this morning for a missing pilot whose aircraft plummeted into the ocean in Durban.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Gauteng's greatest awards at 702 and Yoko. Let's celebrate excellence, one vote at a time. Go to primediaplus.com now to vote for the finalist that makes Gauteng feel like home.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
7 minutes after 9 o'clock. Dumelang. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Clement Manyathela Show on this 15th day of the most incredible month of August. I hope you're well this morning. Thank you for joining the 702 family this morning. Every Friday, we do Gratitude Friday. This is where you can give us a call and tell us what you are grateful for this week. What are you grateful for? What happened this week that put a smile on your face? Give us a call right now on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. You're welcome to post what you are grateful for on YouTube as well if you're watching us on the 702 YouTube page. Are you attending the National Convention today? The gathering takes place today at UNISA. It's basically a precursor to the national dialogues that will be taking place in the coming months. The former president won't be attending today. In fact, the spokesperson of the convention said, well, Thabo Mbeki is no longer the head of state. So he was basically saying the former president must stop behaving like one. Vincent Magwenya yesterday, during a briefing, said the credibility of this national convention cannot be determined by one person or determined by a few organizations or foundations. And I wonder if you think that the credibility of this convention is at risk because other foundations have decided that they will not participate in the preparatory committee. I mean, civil society organizations will still be represented today. There are many of them that have confirmed that they're coming. There are many other foundations, by the way, that are also still involved in the dialogues. So is there some credibility and legitimacy here that comes with foundations like the Thabo Mbeki Foundations being associated? I mean, to be fair, it was the former president, Thabo Mbeki, who first touted this idea of the national dialogue. And in fact, there's lots of work that's been ongoing behind the scenes to prepare for the national dialogues. So for them not to participate even in the preparatory work, I mean, the former president won't even be there today. Yeah, that raises a few questions. And I wonder if you think the credibility of this convention is now at risk, even though the presidency says, well, that can be determined by one person or a few foundations because there are many other stakeholders that are still involved and are committed to this process. Have you decided if you're going to be attending? Are you one of the organizations that are going to be represented there? Let us know. Give us a call. Send a WhatsApp voice note. I did think, though, about, because some people have been saying, yeah, but the former president is being petty here. Because one of the things that I mentioned in the letter is that the Mbeki Foundation said that the invite to the former president was actually received 2 days after the expected response date. And I actually thought about times when I have received invites to events that are closer to the actual, so you're receiving an invite on the day that is too close to the actual event taking place. And what do you do in a situation like that? Because I've also been petty labelle in that sense, like refused to go to an event because I received an invite like 4 days before or 3 days before, because then I'm like, I'm an afterthought, monsieur. So I'm not going to come. And then I come up with an excuse that, sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it. Have you ever done that? Like, is it a big thing for you, or is that too petty? As long as someone has invited you somewhere, take up the opportunity and go celebrate with them. Don't center yourself and start asking, why only now? Why am I getting an invite 2-3 days before? Let me know how you normally approach situations like that. I'm being honest here. I have said no to an invite that came 2 days, 3 days before, because I did think, did you really want me to be at the event if I'm such an afterthought? But I also understand that sometimes people are so busy, they're so hectic that they're not thinking about everybody else. You're so busy planning an event that some people are going to come to your mind like days closer to the event. You realize that, oh my goodness, I forgot about this person. Doesn't mean you're loved less. What do you think? 011-883-0702. It's also D-Day for Trump and Putin. Van Dag, the president of the US, and the Russian president will be holding talks in Alaska. The meeting is aimed at finding a solution to this current war in Ukraine. So all eyes are going to be on this highly anticipated meeting. It's actually an important one. In fact, this is probably the first time, if I'm not mistaken, that Putin has been permitted on Western soil since his invasion of Ukraine back in 2022. So the two are going to be meeting at an air base in Alaska. This is in the far northern U.S. state. So will Trump seek a ceasefire? What is this meeting going to produce? Will he offer some piece of Ukrainian land to Putin? Because Putin has suggested a land swap before, but Zelensky has refused to surrender territory to Russia. So today's meeting is going to be an important one, my friends. So we'll keep a close eye on it, and I'm sure you'll hear about the developments throughout the day here on 702. It's a big sporting weekend. With cricket, the Proteas are playing Australia. With rugby, Springboks, I think they're also playing Australia. And the English Premier League is also coming back this weekend. Remember, Liverpool won the last Premier League title to become the English champions for a record equaling 20th time. What are you looking forward to this weekend on the sporting front? Oh, and I think the other guy, what's his name? The UFC middleweight champ? Kimang, Derkas. Abuti Derkas du Plessis. Kimang, Drikas. Okay, not Derkas. Okay, it's Derkas, not Derkas. Brother Derkas du Plessis will be defending his championship against a Russian fighter. So that's something else happening this weekend. But at 10 o'clock, we're going to do the Across the Desk feature. Today, I'm hosting cancer survivors on Across the Desk. They're going to share their journey with us. We have a breast cancer survivor, we have a skin cancer survivor, and we have someone who's also survived testicular cancer. So they're going to be speaking to us between 10 and 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, we're going to do our relationship feature. And today we're discussing the automatic habits of strong relationships. You know, the most resilient relationships often don't rely on fireworks or grand gestures. But there are 3 automatic emotional habits that become so ingrained and they happen without a second thought. And these are what we're going to focus on the show today, right? And they're subtle because sometimes unconscious ways couples stay connected is through these subtle manners. And they include real-time relationship repair. Healthy couples know how to recover in the aftermath of conflict. So we're going to be talking more about that. We also are going to talk about the practice of parallel play. Because I know we often romanticize the idea that true love means doing everything together with our partners. But healthy couples have learned the quiet joy of being alone together, whether it's reading side by side, cooking in silence, or working on different tasks in the same room. They're comfortable sharing space without needing to fill it. And we're going to be talking about shared language as well, because without realizing it, actually emotionally safe couples speak in a kind of shared language. Things like, oh, that's so us, babe, or remember when we did this, when we went here, or they have got inside jokes. They repeat their favorite stories and draw on metaphors that only they understand intimately. So that's the kind of shared language that's important in strengthening the relationship. We're going to be focusing on these 3 automatic habits of strong relationships at 11 o'clock. That's the show coming up over the next 3 hours.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Good morning, Mr. Manyathela, and good morning to the 702 team. Well, what I'm grateful for this Friday is tomorrow I'm going to watch my first rugby game, thanks to 702 and Pick and Pay. So I really do appreciate you guys, and I'm very grateful for that. It's my first Springbok game, which will be witnessed live. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. Thank you, 702, and thank you to Pick and Pay. Thank you, Clement. Setu, Hillspark.
Clement, I love being invited. Even if you invite me on the day of the event, I don't care. As long as if I'm not doing anything, I will be there. I will come definitely.
Nah, anything. When a yonkin simpi awash. I don't know about that. On YouTube, Kensani says, Clement, I do not appreciate being made a space filler. I always assume that the first person who RSVP'd rejected, and now they have to make up numbers. I don't entertain late invites. Yeah, I think that's isn't that a fair principle to uphold? Because yes, I acknowledge that there's a bit of pettiness with that. But I also do think that at a principle level, it's okay for you to uphold that. Because it is a thing that sometimes people who were actually invited RSVP, then they are not available and now you're trying to fill space. I don't know. I think I'm on the fence on this one. On the one hand, I don't like being invited too late. I don't. And I have said no to events or people's events where I get invited at the last minute because I'm like, then you didn't want me to be there. The people you really wanted to be there were invited when you were inviting them, because this is now wild. But I also appreciate that sometimes you just get too busy. You just get so busy that you forget other people that you really want at your event. So where do we draw the line there, eh?
Good morning, Clement Manyathela and 702 listeners. Regarding the national dialogue, I think those organizations or NGOs that do not want to partake, they are free not to do so, but they cannot hold the nation at ransom. I think the Thabo Mbeki Foundation and the few others that are not interested, they can leave. Even political parties that are not going to take part, they can leave. Their members, if they really care about their future, they will partake. At the end of the day, this is not a political party initiative or a foundation initiative. It is more than that. So there's no one organization or group of activities or civil society or whatever the case might be that is bigger than the national dialogue. So I think these are just people that want to be power mongers, that are hungry. They want the thing to come through them. This is for the nation. This is for everybody else that wants to take part. Let them take part. There's nothing wrong about it. There's no credibility that has been damaged because the people have not yet even spoken. So people will speak. Their ideas of how we move forward will be catered for, and that is important. Thank you.
Yeah, and also listen, the majority of the people in that preparatory task team have remained, right? So when we talk about the legacy foundations withdrawing, that doesn't mean every single other foundation or civil society or people that were in the PTT have actually withdrawn. There are people that are still there who still think that the convention must continue today, who have disagreed with the legacy foundations that have decided we don't want to take part in this anymore. Having said that, so yes, on the one hand, even Vincent Magwenya says, and I agree, the credibility of this national convention cannot be determined by one person or determined by a few organizations or foundations, right? This is a broad church, to steal the phrase from the ANC. So you're not going to get the buy-in of everyone, of course. People will fall off the tracks as things go along. But I do think that we must not ignore the concerns that have also been raised by the legacy foundations. Because they've said, we're worried about timing. There are legitimate things that they're worried about in as far as the rollout of the dialogues are concerned. And I really hope that at some point they can find each other. But from the point I got from the beginning was that they're not saying that they won't participate, they won't take part in the dialogues, but they were basically in the beginning saying, well, we're not going to be part of the preparatory task team. But if you read the letter from the Thabo Mbeki Foundation that was doing the rounds yesterday, I mean, that says something. Abel, can we go to President Cyril Ramaphosa, who's just arrived at the National Dialogue right now, and I'll continue my point in a moment. But the president has just arrived. He's just about to walk in and speaking to members of the media.
You'll hear me very clearly.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
We were late. He's just concluded there. But the President, Cyril Ramaphosa, has just arrived at UNISA in Pretoria, and some journalists were trying to ask him some questions there. And he's just told them that, no, come inside. You'll hear what I have to say inside. He's walking into that national convention now that's going to be discussing the dialogue. So the point I was trying to make is, let's not also ignore the legitimate concerns that have been raised by the Thabo Mbeki Foundation and other legacy foundations. I do think that when you look at the letter that the Thabo Mbeki Foundation wrote to NEDLEC, you get a sense that, I was asking myself, will they really participate in the dialogue even though they're not part of the PTT? I wonder, because Thabo Mbeki is not going to be there today. Why? If the initial approach was, we'll take part, but we're not going to be part of the preparatory task team, then why are you not coming through and taking part? And there have been suggestions that they will engage other civil society organizations, but civil society organizations have remained in this convention because they want to take part. So who are they going to engage? Are they going to engage civil society organizations that are not part of this convention? I wonder.
Hi, Clement. Love the conversation. I got invited to my friend's baby shower on the day.
No.
She called me on the day after having requested for catering services from my company, and she just never invited me.
No.
And she invited me on the day, and of course I couldn't go because you invited me on the day, and I'd also just had my own child. But I extended grace. I still sent a gift and understand that, sometimes things fall through the cracks and you really don't have to take it personally. It did hurt, and I did tell her that, wow, I'm really so hurt, especially because I'd just been, checking up on her consistently throughout the pregnancy. So it happens, but you just kind of have to decenter yourself. The world doesn't revolve around you.
Yeah, I think, you're right. Sometimes we do center ourselves a lot, so you are a better human because you have extended that grace to a close friend. I'm sorry. A friend that is close to me invites me to an event so important on the day, I'm not going. I will wish you well, and I'll probably even send you a gift, but I'm not coming. I'm not, unless you've forgotten to invite everybody. And all of us are getting the invites on that day, because I also isti message, guys. No. On the day, a baby shower, that's like a special thing among girlfriends, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sorry. I wouldn't go to that event on the day unless there's a legitimate explanation why I got invited on the day. Otherwise, miss me. I'll send you a gift. Probably a year from then, in fact, just for control. Say, hey, remember a year ago you had an event? Here's a gift for that.
Hey, Clement. Happy Friday. So on my side, I received an invite a while ago, then RSVP, but then only to be told last minute that they have run out of space. It was a wedding, by the way. So I had to let go of my space for someone else. Yeah. Sharp. Thanks.
Hi, Clement. So my big breakthrough in life happened when I was an afterthought to an event. So the gentleman who was supposed to give out speech at our graduation did not pitch up, and they knew I was good in English. Then they asked me to do the speech 2 hours before the event. I did the speech, gave it my all, gave it my best. And after the event, the guys that were attending asked my phone number and offered me to do business with their companies. So afterthought, but
That's amazing. And there's another side of the coin. Sometimes when you're an afterthought, there are breakthroughs, miracles that are going to happen. So yeah, I suppose it's a decision you have to make. Are you going to take your chances and go, or are you not?
Good morning, Clement. Hi, I find this very interesting. Like, how do you forget people that you're supposed to invite to your event? I mean, when you plan an event, the first thing that comes to mind is invitation. So you send an invitation to all the people that you want to invite. And for those that did not RSVP, then it's cool. The event, goes on. So yeah, if then you get a late, invitation, well, I don't know, but if you want to invite people to your event, send the invitation. Hagwaphela. And again, Thabo Mbeki and Cyril Maposa, babethanda ka noga e phela.
Yeah, there's this relationship between the two. There's something there. So here's another question that just came to my mind listening to that voice note. Have you ever invited someone to an event and they didn't come? They decided to go to another event, and how did you respond to it? Do you get upset? Because there's an event that I couldn't go to, and I'm not going to mention the name of the particular person because quite a known person, but there's a certain individual who invited me to their event. I won't mention the nature of the event because that will probably be obvious. Because what matters here is the story, right? So this person, I couldn't go to this event, but I did RSVP that I'm coming. And I was asked twice. So this person's 2 separate PAs called to check if I am coming. And I said yes. Because I had forgotten that I had a friend who was turning 40 in Cape Town, whose dinner celebration I needed to go to. So then I decided, I went to Cape Town that weekend, and this event actually took place. And then I heard from someone who was attending the event that, hey, this person was actually asking about you because they clearly saw me, in Cape Town celebrating a friend's 40th. Now, I needed to interview this person. Was it yesterday, this week? And the person said no. And this is the person who had invited me to this actual event. Now, I'm like, is this person like snubbing me now because I didn't go to their event? And it was a special event for them. I take that. So I've actually decided this morning that I need to just go and apologize for not having made it, even though I RSVP'd. I just thought that there's going to be lots of people there. You won't even realize that I'm not there. But when I saw that the person didn't, said no to an interview that was requested, I was like, maybe this person is still upset that I couldn't go to this event. So I'm going to apologize. But I honestly would never take offense if I've invited you to my thing and you didn't come, especially if you're not like the closest of my friend. Like, are you a type of person that takes offense? Like, and I'm not just talking about like close people, because I understand why you're upset that your best friend didn't come to your 60th or 70th or 40th or 30th. But like someone else that you guys are just cordial and you just know each other, and maybe you just like each other, you appreciate each other's work like that. Do you get upset if they don't come to the event? Let me know. It's 9:31. So good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. The University of South Africa says it hopes the convention to the National Dialogue will nurture the country's young democracy. UNISA is hosting the 2-day convention at its main campus in Pretoria. The 2-day convention aims to finalize the modalities and finer details of the National Dialogue, which is set to take place across the country over the next few months. Parliament's ad hoc committee probing the allegations of police corruption has failed to finalize its terms of reference at its second meeting. The committee had planned to finalize the document to guide its work yesterday, but was forced to postpone its meeting after receiving several submissions and proposed amendments for parties. The draft terms of reference before the committee detail the scope of work it has to navigate, public participation, and how witnesses and whistleblowers will be handled. And lawyers representing murder-accused Katiso Katie Mulife have accused the state of distorting facts to influence the mind of the court, which must make a decision on his bail application. Molefe returned to the Alex Magistrates Court yesterday for his bail hearing. He is accused of orchestrating the murders of two popular musicians, DJ Seboni and DJ Fintos. And those are the headlines. There's EWN and more at 10 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Travelling towards Bedfordview, we still have got those roadworks taking place right along the N12 as well as the R24 West. Delays between Edenville Road and the Gidulis interchange. The N3 North is also backed up due to these roadworks taking place along this route, so please be on the lookout there while heading towards Amalgam. Delays on the M2 West. This is between the Crown interchange and the Main Reef Road. If you're travelling towards the city of Tshwane via the R21 North, do expect delays approaching Olifantsfontein Road, and that's due to roadworks taking place in the Cebisa area, so please be on the lookout there or stick onto the N1 North if you want to head towards the city of Tshwane. Otherwise, travelling out of four ways, we've got delays on the N1 North. This is between Winnie Mandela Drive and Rivernia Road. I'll have your next traffic update at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Africa Milani.
Weekday mornings,
4 to 6.
Are you on the road this morning? Are you driving, given the incident that played itself out in Maponya Mall yesterday in Soweto?
I'm scared of my life. I'm going home to sleep now. I did pass in Maponya last night. I saw the incident.
You saw the incident?
Yeah, I saw it. I was on the trip going from Albertine to Soweto, so I passed there, I saw it.
Were you driving there while it was happening, or did you drive there after it had happened?
It was happening by then when I passed.
What did you see, Veli? What did you witness?
I heard the gunshots, and when I come back, I just saw some of the cars on flames.
Africa Milani.
4 to 6 on 702.
The 12th edition of the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, is coming. From the 20th till the 21st of September, you'll get to experience unbeatable vibes this heritage weekend at Kailami Grand Prix Circuit. On Saturday, the 20th, catch Don Toliver, Questa, Inkabi Zwezwe, and many more. Then on Sunday, the 21st of September, immerse yourself in the incredible performance from legendary Lauryn Hill on her 25th anniversary tour with special guests YG and Zion Mali, and local icons like Lyra, Mandisi Janji, Zoe, and more also taking the stage on Sunday. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today on ticketmaster.co.za. The DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star and proudly supported by 702. More info on deliciousfestival.com.
Okay, truck 7, that has zero warning lights. Truck 8, it's just been serviced. I guess we're running like a well-oiled machine. Where would I be without MyWay's comprehensive cover for my vans and trucks? Plus, cover for my customers' orders with goods and transit insurance. I guess we'll never know.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. MyWay is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. MyWay. Live your way.
More weekend wins are on the way. The Hollywood Bets Weekend Bonus Bonanza puts you in line to secure a sensational share of 400,000 Rand in exhilarating bonus bets. Gear up to go on an exciting adventure packed with more booming weekends when you log in and bet 2 Rand or more on selected Pragmatic Play, Playtech, and Habanero slots. Blazing bonus bounties await, so make sure you log in and bet now.
T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Mr. Govender, congrats on the retirement. You just sold your car to We Buy Cars. Tell us about it.
Yes, it just gathered dust in the garage, so I exchanged it for cold hard cash. Now my wife and I can enjoy a stress-free retirement.
Retiring the car as you retire. Nice. So why We Buy Cars?
It was so quick. They came over to our house to do the evaluation, and we sold it the same day. Tops, man.
Okay, so now you got even more time on your hands, eh?
Exactly.
We Buy Cars. Geared for your next chapter. Geared for you.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
23 minutes before 10 o'clock. Let's continue with your calls on 011-883-0702. WhatsApps on 072-702-1702. Okay, a lot of people, Abel, say that I was wrong because I RSVP'd and I was asked twice to go to this particular event. And yes, guys, I admit that. Okay, I admit that. Olelo on YouTube says, "Hi, Clement, you were wrong. You were asked twice and you confirmed your attendance. They did well by declining your interview." But Xolela, come on. But I am going to apologize. I am going to, because I get along with this person so well. In fact, I'll take them out to a golf of game, which I've been promising them for a long time. So we'll just go play golf and sort it out on the golf course, actually. But yeah, I get it. I was wrong. I will apologize.
My thing is, I think it's like weddings. You know, people say they've got an A list and a B list. It's like having reserves. Like if you look at, for example, let's put it into a sporting analogy, but like look at soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. But when players are on the bench, or even rugby, people don't want to be on the bench. People want to be starting. So like you put that into into an event sort of situation. It's the same thing. It's just I would feel a bit sour if someone put me on their B list at a wedding.
Good morning, 702. Good morning, Mr. Manyathela. Hey, I stay in Mpumalanga. There's no coverage of 702. Hey, I miss 702, but I'm streaming now live. Anyway, to this one now, Mr. Manyathela. Hey, my brother, you must be a beforehand invite, not an afterthought invite. So if someone invites you before 4 days, that means you're not part of the plan. It's more like you are, they see now maybe the puzzle is not going to be complete without you, and then they now put you in. You must be a before thought invite, so that you can prepare. Some of us, we like to now imagine 4 days before, love the show.
Good morning, Clemmy. Okay, for me, a couple of years ago, it was a matter of a wedding and a funeral. So I have a friend that was getting married, and I had a best friend that had just lost his brother. We were close with the guy that he's my best friend. I know the family. The family knows me. We tight like that. And yes, the other guy we met at school, and yeah, it was his wedding. So I decided to go to the funeral. So later on, I had already RSVP'd for the wedding, but I couldn't go to the wedding. I ended up going to the funeral.
Mr. Clement, late invite or early invite? I mean, I don't understand why Mbeki is playing the drama queen so lately. Because nowadays he's just too much, man. He's just too much. I agree, if he wants to come back, he can easily do that. I mean, he's still an active ANC member. So he can easily do that and come back and campaign, and yeah, like, other than playing the drama queen.
Wow, why are you calling him a drama queen? Yeah, but I mean, there's always been rumors of just these two leaders, not really. Like, there's some tension always somehow that has been brewing between the two of them. In fact, if you remember very well the history of the African National Congress, you actually will understand where this potentially comes from. You probably would understand, like when Mbeki was still president and there were conversations about who should be next, or who's got whose blessings or Mandela's blessings to be next. Is that where it comes from? Because there's tension that you can tell exists, and there's always been rumors, Jay, in government about the two leaders and just their awkward relations. I just think that if the Legacy Foundations have pulled out of the preparatory committee, but they committed will still take part in the dialogues, then why are you not attending? Come through. Unless they're saying we don't want to be part of an illegitimate process. Do they believe that it is illegitimate? just decide, are you pulling out completely from the preparatory task team, or are you also pulling out completely? You don't want any association with this gathering, the convention and the dialogues, or not? Which is which? And if you're just coming out of the preparatory committee, then are you sending your team? Are you going to be part of this important event that you've always been spearheading? Yeah, that's quite something.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Clement, this is Kim speaking. Thanks for a great show. Today, I'm really grateful that I spent my birthday last Saturday with my wonderful parents who drove up from the Eastern Cape on their way to the Kruger Park. But yeah, my birthday was spent with them, which is so special because, you know, family's everything, isn't it? Whether it's your biological or your chosen family, family's everything. So lots to be grateful for. I think it's your birthday this month as well. So happy birthday.
Thank you.
Morning, Clem. Morning to all 702 listeners this morning. I'm grateful for being alive, still healthy, not taking any medication for any sickness in my body. And I just thank God for being alive and pray for this country. I still have hope for this country. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for praying for the country. I've also been asking you about this meeting between Trump and the Russian president, President Putin. They're meeting in Alaska at an Air Force base. It's going to be a very important meeting. Where do you think it's going to go? Are we going to get a ceasefire? Is Trump going to offer some pieces of Ukrainian land to make the deal? Because Zelensky doesn't want to let go of any territory of Ukraine. That's going to be an important meeting to watch today.
Good morning, Clement and the team there. The meeting in Alaska, it is just useless. How do you go ahead in promoting peace with only one side? Or is the peace between US and Russia? No, it's not going to work. Thanks. William Pretoria.
702 Afternoons
with Relebogile Mabota, 1 to 3 p.m.
So what would you need to do with these crystals? Is it wearing them? Is it keeping them in your house, in your car? What do you do with them?
So all of the above. Different crystals will have different uses. Sometimes it's great to keep it on your body if you're looking for physical healing and emotional healing. If you're looking for things like protection, you can put them around your house and your garden. You can also wear the ones for protection as well. There is one that makes you invisible to thieves, and that's garnet. So that you can keep in your car, you can keep in your handbag. So yeah, there's little tips and tricks that are endless when you go into the crystal world.
Amy Ann Atkinson, energy healing therapist and practitioner.
702 Afternoons
with Relebogile Mabota.
Let's walk the talk.
At the heart of global conversations shaping the future, Africa's voice matters more than ever. As Africa's largest bank by assets and lead sponsor of the B20 Summit, Standard Bank Group is proud to spotlight the continent's growth partnerships and potential on the world stage. Through informed dialogue and powerful partnerships, Standard Bank is driving sustainable growth where it matters most. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Whether it's a sun-soaked beach escape, adventure-packed tour, or luxury cruise, Flight Centre is your go-to for travel. From flights and hotels to tours and cruises, we've got it all. Plus travel insurance for peace of mind. If you want the best deals, you can save more by taking advantage of our Bundle Plus Save offer. Plan your trip today at your nearest Flight Centre store or visit flightcentre.co.za. Flight Centre, your centre for travel.
My friend always says, not my problem, bro. But what if it was your sister, your mother, your daughter? Gender-based violence is everyone's problem. And good men don't look away. If you see abuse, don't be silent. Report it. Call the SA Police on 10111 or the GBVF Command Center on 0800 428 428. Strong men protect. Strong women stand up. Together, we can end gender-based violence and femicide. Break the vicious cycle. Act now. A message from Government Communications, the GCIS.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
12 minutes before 10 o'clock. How do you deal with late invites? Do you go, or are you a type of person that doesn't go? And do you get upset if people RSVP to come to your event and they don't make it? And do you also expect an apology? Because I do think that sometimes maybe, I don't know, like an apology. Yeah, I actually remember someone was getting married. A friend of a friend invited me to a wedding. I RSVP'd, but on the day something came up, I couldn't go. But it was a wedding, like there were so many people there. Like, did you even notice that I'm not there? I've never apologized for that one. Because I've just thought it's a wedding and it's at a township, there's just everybody there. Like, and it's a friend of a friend, you know? Because as I said, I feel like an apology when you are a close person, that's when it's more urgent. But I've also heard from some of you who said how I dealt with my previous invite is shaky and shady, and I will fix that. I'll apologize. But do you actually get upset if people RSVP'd and didn't come to your event? And are you a type of person that doesn't take invites that come late? I think it's just disrespectful, really, to invite me to a thing that happens on the day or the next day or 2 days later. We are busy. I mean, at the very least, just indicate that save this date. And then at least I know if you forget to send an actual invite, but already I had saved the date. Huh? How do you approach these things?
Good morning, Clement. So my sister had booked a holiday to Paris with her friend. They both agreed to put money together. And then last minute, the friend turns my sister down. And then my sister was like, who will I go with? And then she called my wife. And then my wife went to Paris with my sister for free. So, yeah, indeed, there are two sides to the coin sometimes. Great show.
Absolutely. And Joe, I mean, who's going to say no to a trip to Paris for free? Sign me up. I don't care that somebody canceled or not. Even if you invite me, I will take it. But seriously, for me, as long as there's an explanation to it. So that's why I said earlier, I premised what I said with, I also understand that sometimes people get too busy to a point that they forget that, oh, there is a Clement that I want at this event, but I forgot to invite them. So I'm also appreciative of that. But I think an explanation for me is what will do me well. Like if you come and say, I'm sorry I'm doing this so late, but I've just been cancelled by someone. Or I'm sorry I'm doing this so late, but I didn't have enough space, but now space has opened up. Just say something to me. Don't just send an invite and say, this is happening tomorrow, because then that's a bit weird. But a free trip to Paris? Listen, you can invite me on the day. I'm coming with you.
Ha, 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 ha. Clement. Wamuna, no. So, Clement, you were asked to RSVP twice. Twice. And twice you said yes. Then you didn't go. And you came back and you have not apologized. And you're wondering if the person is snubbing you. Wamuna. Clement, yo. I know, man. No, man. Yo, you need to do more than apologize, brother. Whether it's someone that's not a close associate or not. Twice you were asked to RSVP and you said yes 2 occasions and you didn't pitch. My guy, no.
Yeah, I get it, guys. And I mean, I already feel bad. I get it. I'm actually sending a WhatsApp right now to this person because, yeah, let's close this. Yeah, and apologize. It's just that, you know, yeah, Literally at the time I thought I will probably be able to make it. But then I remembered that, oh my God, there's something I'd RSVP to first. So I double booked myself. And this Cape Town friend of mine, I had known about it for so long. So that's why there was a mix-up there. Let's go to TT, who's calling us from Pretoria. TT, good morning.
Clement, how are you?
I'm all right, man. Go ahead.
I'm good, thanks. You know, I'm sure you can relate or you would know of this. You know, in Limpopo, in the village that I come from, if you don't attend other people's ceremonies, they take, like, the whole village takes it so personal. And you know, there was a guy who always didn't go to people's ceremonies, right? And there was a funeral at his home. And people went, but they didn't eat. And this guy slaughtered a whole cow, you know, and people didn't eat because they took it personal. This guy doesn't attend people's ceremonies, and attendance there is taken as support, if you know what I mean. Just showing face, you know. So it's a very big thing of not attending in certain communities.
Yeah,
you know?
I get that. I get that, TT. But also things happen, hey? You know,
true.
Sometimes people are not gonna be able to come because you know they're engaged or they're not feeling good on the day. But maybe what's important again is to just indicate that, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not able to come.
Also showing face, but also if it's consistently, like if you don't show up all the time, you know. But if it's once off, then yeah, it makes sense. But if it's all the time, people start to take it personally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you. Titi in Pretoria, thank you. So I told you earlier on about a busy sporting weekend, right? There's just so much. Cricket is playing Australia. Springboks are playing Australia. And if you're going to be heading to Ellis Park, well, you may want to hear this. Lwazi Shozi is the communications manager at PRASA, who's joining us on the line. Lwazi, thanks for coming through. Good morning to you. Are spectators going to be getting some rides to Ellis Park?
Good morning, Clement. Good morning to the listeners this morning. Absolutely. Not just to Ellis Park, but to Orlando Stadium as well. As you stated that it is a major sporting weekend this weekend.
Okay. How is it going to work?
So Johannesburg Park Station is going to be basically where it is that our train shuttle service will be running between Park Station as well as Ellis Park Station. The service will start at 11 o'clock to allow spectators to make their way to Ellis Park and arrive just before the gates open. They're scheduled to open at 12. And that will run up until 4:30, just before kickoff time. We are going to be running a 15-minute shuttle service, so it's between the two stadiums, and the travel time for that service is 3 minutes. So we did a test train yesterday. We left Park Station at 10:27 and we arrived at Ellis Park at 10:30. So it is a 3-minute train ride, and we have collaborated with the Gautrain to make sure that those that are going to be using the Gautrain to come in would then hop off at Johannesburg Park Station and then hop onto the People's Train and make their way to the game. And it's not just solely the Gautrain that would be feeding into us, but also our e-hailing services, as well as those who would seek to park their vehicles at Johannesburg Park Station, hop onto the train and make their way to the game.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Lwazi Shozi. So look out for these rides to Ellis Park, to Orlando as well. And I'm glad that there's this cooperation with Gautrain as well. Lwazi Shozi from PRASA, appreciate your time.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Quick one about the Alaska meeting. Remember when Putin was supposed to come to South Africa? They said we have to arrest him. So now I just want to know if USA are going to arrest him. Because if he has been put in this Interpol criminal whatever thing, he is supposed to be arrested also when he arrives there. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
702 delivers
on the matters that matter to you.
This is Kolela from Bedford View. I love 702 because its family keeps me entertained and informed all the time, and they do walk the talk.
Thank you for Sharing your thoughts.
So we can deliver more on what matters to you.
702 Listens.
Let's walk the talk.
Your workday calls for more performance, more doing the impossible, more challenge accepted. Your weekends demand more excitement, more detours, more limitless living. And the new GWM P300 LS is where it all comes together. Bring it on in the new P300 LS with a 2.4 turbo diesel and 12.3-inch touchscreen from only $5,999 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and to book a test drive. GWM, go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of Westbank and Authorized Financial Services and registered credit provider.
Betway's exclusive new games are taking the world by storm. Featuring massive Megaways jackpots. Take your shot on Cash and Riches, Wolf Blaze, Gallo Gold Brunos, and many more incredible experiences for you to choose from. You're guaranteed to find a new ultra fun favorite. Get way more only at Betway. Betway is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. NRGP counseling line 0800 006 008. All events are fixed odds betting games.
Medical aid plans, they're normally like this.
So, you'll need to take this form and this. So don't forget this too. Okay, wait. Don't forget this one. Wait. Okay, done.
My back!
Oh, sorry, sir. That's gonna have to come out of your savings.
At Bonitas, we make our plans simple, so they're easy to understand. We also offer a benefit booster and a range of other benefits that don't come off your savings. Visit bonitas.co.za when you need us. Bonitas, medical aid for South Africa. T's and C's apply.
Clement is on X.
At The Real Clement M.
All right, it's a minute now before 10 o'clock. Remember what Prasa was just telling us now. Take advantage of that. You can get on these free rides to Ellis Park. You can get on a free ride to Orlando as well. And they'll be working together with the Gautrain. It's great when we've got these busy sporting weekend for these transport sectors to come through and offer you these free, safe rides. It's 10 o'clock now, time for the news. When we come back, we are going to host cancer survivors on our Across the Desk feature. You don't want to miss that.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The University of South Africa says it hopes the convention to the National Dialogue will nurture the country's young democracy. UNISA is hosting the two-day convention at its main campus in Pretoria. The two-day convention aims to finalize the modalities and finer details of the national dialogues, which are set to take place across the country over the next few months. Tebisa Mfenyana reports.
Over 100 representatives from civil organizations, NPOs, and other sectoral groups have made their way to the UNISA main campus in Pretoria. The convention to the national dialogue represents the first step of government's attempt to rebuild the social compact it has with the people. UNISA spokesperson Boitumelo Senokwane says the university is happy to provide a venue for these important talks.
It's more than only teaching and learning. It's more than research. We've got the responsibility amongst the many to activate a dialogue within communities, but even beyond that, to ensure that democracy is nurtured within our societies.
Senokwane says the university cannot comment on the decision of its chancellor and former state president Thabo Mbeki to boycott today's event. Thabiso Koba, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
Parliament's ad hoc committee probing the veracity of allegations of police corruption has failed to finalize its terms of reference at its second meeting. The committee had planned to finalize the document to guide its work yesterday, but was forced to defer its meeting after receiving several submissions and proposed amendments from parties. The draft terms of reference before the committee detailed the scope of work the committee has to navigate, public participation, and how witnesses and whistleblowers will be handled. Babalondenza reports.
Political parties began the process of finalizing the terms of reference and how far-reaching the inquiry into allegations of police corruption will go. The terms of reference include probing the alleged existence of an organized crime syndicate controlled by a drug cartel as well as business people, and its infiltration of key criminal justice system role players involving politicians. Parliament legal advisor Andile Tejana explained some of the terms on external legal services and witnesses.
we speak about engaging the services of external legal counsel. And then 5.3 chairperson speaks to issues of witnesses, that the committee will invite persons identified by it as witnesses to submit sworn written statements. The committee may invite any interested parties to provide input.
The committee will meet on Monday to receive outstanding submissions before continuing with its inquiry. Babalo Ndenza, Eyewitness News.
Lawyers representing murder-accused Katiso KT Molefe have accused the state of distorting facts to influence the mind of the court, which must make a decision on his bail application. Molefe returned to the Alexandra Magistrates Court yesterday for his bail hearing. He is accused of orchestrating the murders of two popular musicians, DJ Sambodi and DJ Fintos. Khomoso Modisa reports.
In an affidavit, the investigating officer working on the case against Katiso KT Molefe told the court that he travelled to the United Kingdom as recently as last year, showing that he has business interests abroad. But that was flagged by Molefe's lawyer, Advocate Michael Hellens, who disputed this.
It must be immediately pointed out, unfortunately, the state and the investigating officer were not only remiss, but greatly lacking in care in maliciously, and we use that word advisedly, placing before the court the fact that the applicant had allegedly travelled to the UK in 2024.
The state conceded that it was a mistake on its part and Molefe had not travelled to the UK. But investigators still insist Molefe is a flight risk after he travelled to the UK with a bogus passport in 2004, where he was busted for dealing cannabis. The court will hand down a decision on Molefe's bail next week. Khomoso Modise, Eyewitness News in Alexandra.
And more than 100 people have now died from contaminated fentanyl administered in Argentina's hospitals. Since May, the country has been trying to determine how many deaths were linked to the bacteria-infected supplies of the drug used in hospitals in 4 provinces, as well as the capital, Buenos Aires. President Javier Milei says Ariel Ferraro Garcia, the owner of HLB Pharma Group, was the manufacturer of the batch of contaminated fentanyl responsible for the deaths. Ferraro Garcia has previously denied claims that he was responsible, blaming a former colleague for planting the story in the media. Gold is trading at $3,344.86 an ounce. The rand is at 17.57 to the dollar, 23.80 to the pound, 20.50 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.63 a barrel.
And in the traffic in Edenville, we've got an accident on the N3 South. It happened right near the Glulis interchange. Delays coming out of Linksfield Road while travelling on the Mike 1 North. We've got another accident scene reported. This one is right after Harton Drive. It is slowing down traffic towards Corlett Drive. Please be on the lookout.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 24 and 25. The top story in EWN this hour. The University of South Africa says it hopes the convention to the National Dialogue will nurture the country's young democracy.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Your vote is not just a click. It's a thank you, a nod, a way of saying we see you. Vote for your favorite local business now on primemediaplus.com.
You're with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7 and 106 FM.
Seven minutes after 10 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the second hour of the Clement Manyathela Show. Thank you for staying with us here on 702, and thank you for your contribution on the 702 open line this morning. I want to read you a WhatsApp that came through. when we were talking about the issues of invites, do you get upset when you get invited to an event like 3 days, 2 days, or on the day of the event? And I was also asking you, are you one of those that really get upset if someone RSVP'd and they didn't pitch? So here's what someone, Lundi in Cape Town, says. Clement, I feel like people often get a bit too emotional about these things. Family members tend to take a lot of space, rightfully so, but I also want to have friends. So when family can't make it, it opens up space for friends like you to come to my party or wedding, resulting in a late invite. So for me, I'm not bothered with empty seats as long as there are genuine friends and people with good energy and they're there. A considerate late invitation is not an insult. That's a message there from Lundi in Cape Town. Sure, I get that. But hence I said, at least explain. It's just weird to say to someone, hey, I have a baby shower tomorrow. Your best friend? I'm sorry, I'm not coming to that event. But at least explain that, listen, I only have space for 20 people. All my family members were coming, but there's 2 that have pulled out, and I want to create that space for 2 friends. And I think you should be one of those. Then I will get that explanation. But if you're not going to explain to me why you're inviting me to your wedding 2 days before and I'm your friend, no, miss me and easy. It's time for our Across the Desk feature.
Across the Desk
with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
So on our Across the Desk feature this morning, I am hosting people that have survived cancer survivors, and I want them to share just their journeys with us. If you have been in a similar situation, I would like you to share your experience as well. You can do so by calling us on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. We've got Cebisa Mfenyana, who's a breast cancer survivor, here with us in studio. Cebisa, thank you so much for coming through. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. We've got Naniki Seboni, who's a skin cancer survivor. Naniki, good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm well, and yourself, Clement?
Good. And we've got Charl. You're going to help me pronounce your surname, but I'm going to try first. Charl-Jaquairdo van Helsdingen.
So, Charl-Jaquairdo
van
Helsdingen, yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. He's a testicular cancer survivor. Thank you so much, Charl, for also making time for us. I want us to start in the beginning, guys. When you got the news, the moment you first received your diagnosis, how did you respond? And did you even know about breast cancer in your case?
So in my case, one of my mom's sisters actually had breast cancer and she died from it. So I discovered it whilst taking my morning shower around 6 o'clock in the morning on the 19th of July, 2016. And I found a lump. Then my next step was to wait 2 hours until my doctor's rooms were open to make an appointment, and then to go and find out from the doctor if I was feeling a lump or I was imagining something.
Did you get a hunch during that time that could this be it?
Yes, because it really, really felt odd. It was very different. Yeah.
Sure. And then when you get to the doctor and when the confirmation is made, and then what?
So essentially, it's quite a process to actually get the confirmation. So the doctor thought it was fibrosis, and then he was like, oh, I'm not sure. Let's just be safe. He sent me for an emergency mammogram and ultrasound, which I did the following day. And then that's when the news gets broken to you. It's when you're lying there and you're chitty-chatting to the nurse, and then suddenly you just hear her take this breath. And then I was like, okay. And then she rushes off and she says to me, I'm calling the doctor quickly. And the doctor walks in and he just takes a look and he just says, it's cancerous.
What stage was it?
Luckily it was stage 1.
Okay.
So from there, then I told my doctor, who then referred me to a breast surgeon.
Okay.
Who then I had to do a biopsy and also do a CT scan. And then he was able to then stage it and tell me what I had, y'all.
All right. And for you, Naniki?
Yikes. I think for me, I'd always heard about breast cancer. So I didn't know that skin cancer was a thing that black people would have to associate themselves with. I thought it was an old white person disease. So there was a young black woman being told that I have stage 3 malignant melanoma. And obviously I'm stuck. And you're reminding me when you say the nurse left and then the doctor comes in and he's so somber. I'm reminded by that moment myself when the doctor who did my biopsy walks in, but with another doctor, and it's just so somber in the room.
Yeah.
Nobody needed to say anything. I knew something was wrong, and then they proceed to give me my diagnosis. And in the dumbfoundedness of my life, I go, "But I'm black."
Yeah. Like, how did I get this thing?
And it spoke so much to just how I was always teased in school because I was always the black girl with the sunscreen and the hats, and I was always trying to protect my skin. And then, they were like, "Oh, you're trying to be a white girl." And then here I was, the black girl getting a white person disease. I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Look at that.
Look at that.
Wow. Charl, for you?
For me, it was I can resonate what you're saying with that moments where you just know. When the doctor walks in, there's just that feeling and you know. And I think for me, what the hard thing is my whole life I had encapsulated myself as being an athlete, being strong. The very definition of what makes you a man.
Yeah.
And here I'm diagnosed with testicular cancer, the stuff that makes you a man, your manlyhood is. And what I discovered is that we don't have an open narrative for men to have these talks because men don't speak about these stuff. And being diagnosed, I realized I had nowhere really to reach out to speak to understand. I, as a man, was conditioned to be too scared to speak about this. So the journey was not just being diagnosed with cancer, it was also finding my way of being a man and what representative of a man is.
Yeah.
So the journey was not just surviving cancer, but finding a way to be what a man really is.
Did you know about testicular cancer?
I did not. General, like we all know cancer, there's stage 1, stage 2, there's chemotherapy. But at the moment, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what was going to happen, what to expect, what my recovery would be. And that was quite a scary realization for me as a man going, I feel like I don't have a platform or community to reach out to where I feel safe.
Yeah. So what was your treatment journey like, physically, but mentally and emotionally as well? Because I have had someone very close in my family who's been diagnosed with cancer, and it is draining emotionally. And I only think if we as family members feel like that, can you imagine the person who's going through this uncertainty?
It's a lot. And I think, it's also just, first of all, having to understand what treatment regime you're going to get, okay? And trying to get your head around what chemotherapy is, understanding what radiation is, and it's also trying to get through the steps, and then also trying to manage. I mean, my daughter at the time was 9, so you're also trying to manage, her, to make sure that you don't impose your fear on her. Managing my elderly parents and friends, so and also yourself. So it's a complete roller coaster of emotions.
Did you only do you have to operate, or did you have to do radiation?
I had to do a mastectomy.
Okay.
And then after the mastectomy, I had chemotherapy. After chemotherapy, I had radiation.
How long was your chemo?
All in all, I must say, I think my treatment was about 5-6 months.
Sure.
With everything in.
And chemo, how did you find it?
Oh my goodness gracious me. There's a thing called the red devil. Okay. They don't joke. That thing, the side effects of the red devil are something else. But also the side effects of radiation, the exhaustion. It's like I don't think you ever prepared for it, because the oncologist told me all the side effects, and I remember writing them all down as to exactly what it is that I was going to expect, keeping a diary of everything I went through, how I felt every single time, and then I'd report back to her to say, okay, fine, this week I felt tired, this week I was nauseous, and it just goes on. It's a lot.
It is a lot, yeah. I've lived with this family member of mine when they were doing chemo, and I saw them literally react to every single symptom. It was so scary because you see the diarrhea, you see the nausea, you see they can't taste anything.
Oh, the taste.
The
There's,
taste
there's
plus-
nothing worse.
So the first 3 days, the fruit salad works, and then it's the mixed veggies, and then it's the chicken, and then it's the fish, and then suddenly you can't eat anything. We've tried anything ever that we could come up with. It's actually quite scary. What was the treatment was like for you, Naniki? What did you have to do?
I love that Cebisa mentioned the red devil, and then Charl agreed.
Was like, yeah.
Like we had different cancers, but we've all heard of the red devil, right? And maybe it's because breast cancer is more popular. People have the conversations, the campaigns. We see them everywhere. So we also go into it as other cancer patients thinking we're getting the red devil. But it wasn't the case for me, right? So for me, because I was a skin cancer stage 3 diagnosis, my treatment was completely different to Cebisa's, and I'm definitely sure was different to Charles. And that's the thing about cancer. Everybody gets a different treatment plan. Even if you have breast cancer and I have breast cancer, we might still have completely different treatment regimens, right? For me, I went into it and they said, first thing we're doing is a surgery. So this didn't make sense to me because what I understood is that you go in for chemo first to try and shrink the tumor. So for me, it's a removal, and that was it. No chemo, no radiation. Doctors then explained to me that I can't go through radiation because it's going to expose me to unnecessary UV. Right? I'm a skin cancer girl. I can't have extra UV on my skin. And then later on, I found out that there's something called immunotherapy, but I went to a public hospital for my treatment, so that was definitely not an option for me. And it was just a matter of trying to deal and recover with my surgery. And they cut me where the melanoma was and had to cut me in my groin to remove the lymph nodes to make sure that it doesn't spread.
Yeah. How long did it take you to come back and recover?
No, recovery is long and mentally more than it was physically. Yeah, because from diagnosis to treatment was 6 months, and that was all because of me. But as soon as the surgery was done, it probably took me a month to really be healed. But the emotional baggage still to this day, really.
That was a lot. Charl, did you have to do radiation chemo?
Yeah. Mine was quite traumatic and quite drastic, I'd say. I mean, I went through the whole journey by myself, like, again, conditioning, generational conditioning, not opening up. Went to the hospital, did all the tests by myself, didn't tell a single soul until I was actually diagnosed. I was like, okay, well, now I'm going to need help.
Yeah.
And I felt it was such an aggressive way of treating because I went also straight to surgery. I had my testicle removed. I had chemo. I had radiation. And for me, the radiation was actually worse than the chemo for some reason. I reacted a lot worse to the radiation than I did to chemo.
Really?
It was a lot harder for me. And like you say, it's that mental, it's like it's such a traumatic experience that, again, I'd encapsulated my being as being an athlete. And here I am going through radiation and chemo and surgery, and I can't even get out of bed sometimes. Literally, you guys understand what it's like. You can't even lift your head. And it was so scarring mentally that a year later after my remission, I was diagnosed with lymphoma.
Oh.
And that one was the one that floored me because I didn't have that strength. I was like, I can't do this again. There's no ways. This must be a joke. This can't be real.
Yeah.
And yet, again, going through the journey, I had found support in communities because I started speaking about my journey. I started encouraging and sharing, and that gave me support to be able to push me through the next one.
Yeah.
But I'm done now.
Okay.
I'm done now.
Yeah, please, no more. So, I mean, when you talk about testicular, I wonder, like, especially because you talk about, like, especially as males and how we define our masculinity growing up, this flawed idea of what actually makes you a man. Did you get, like, weird reactions from your male friends when you're like, I'm getting my testicles removed, for instance? Or
yeah, because it's funny how I think men, again, they separate the emotion and from the reality because they were, oh no, oh my gosh, oh you're bald, that's the reaction instead of like, oh my god, you have cancer.
Yes. So they're more concerned about
more concerned about that, and that's again, it goes into your headspace going, is that what makes me a man? Is that what you say? Okay, if you've lost that, it makes you less of a man. And that was the wonderful journey I went on, is discovering what a representation of man, a strong man is.
Yes.
And it's not things like that. It's not losing a testicle, it's surviving cancer.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I like that. How important was emotional support for you? And did you get it? Because I found that I always struggled. Like, I had my siblings who were like panicking, and I'm the older brother, so I have to be like, sometimes you have to postpone the sadness and because you are I have to be functional. Everybody else is breaking. And I remember having a chat with my siblings that we need to try and manage our emotions in front of, our loved one. Yeah. We can't go there and just keep crying like, oh my God, what's going to happen? We need to give them strength. So for you, what was it like? Because you also don't want people not to be free about how they feel. Yeah. We are all fearful, but at the same time, we want to give you courage. Did you get that balance?
I had the most incredible amount of support. I was completely and utterly overwhelmed. It was from my parents. My neighbors were absolutely phenomenal. My friends, my best friend actually flew down from the Eastern Cape to spend 2 weeks with us. So whilst I was in hospital for my mastectomy, she was staying with my daughter, and she took her to school and made sure that she had some kind of stability, through it. I had the parents in my daughter's grade. They clubbed together. The next thing you know, I was getting meals. They were doing all the lifting. It was just the amount of love and support that I got. My colleagues, my boss at the time, actually, when I told her that I'd been diagnosed with breast cancer, she got such a fight. She was so scared. She actually said to me, "Go home now. Go live your life." I think
because we always think cancer.
She
at
just
some
thought
point
maybe
out.
this chick has got 6 weeks to live. So I was basically booted out of work, paid leave, everything else, and I had to go and live my life. And I was thinking, can you also just give me your black card while I'm at it?
Great.
And I'm not paying anything back when I come back. Yeah. Okay. And Naniki, did you have support like that?
No.
Yeah?
Dear God, no. No, not at all. Like Charl, I didn't tell anybody. And I think that was my fault, right? For the reason why I didn't get the support is because I didn't tell anybody. The only two people who knew was my mother and my partner then. Yeah. Because these were the immediate people who were going to feel and go through what I was dealing with. My family found out, I think, months later after my surgery with a newspaper article. I was in the newspaper and then I started getting calls.
What is going on?
Girl, cancer.
You didn't say.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
So
What year was it?
This was 2015.
Yeah, that's like a while back. And at the time,
Forever
cancer
ago,
was like a very scary C word.
Different conversations back then. Different conversations. Even online when you see people, now people get diagnosed and they immediately go online and like, I've been diagnosed, and they're crying. And then now we have like 10,000 views.
Yes.
That was not the case for me. I was scared. I was not embarrassed, but I didn't know how I was going to cope with this disease. What I had to do was to understand what cancer was, then to try and understand what melanoma was, then try and understand what a skin cancer is, and then how do I fit in to this cancer world. So my community only came in 6 months later. Because then I was so broken, just shattered, losing weight, couldn't figure out anything, wasn't sleeping. I was now seeing a neurologist. It was a lot. I was essentially losing my mind. So then I had to get the support, started seeing a therapist, being in a support group. And they were the people who said to me, young one, again, because I was 25 at the time, young one, you can't let this thing get you down. So it wasn't support from my family. It wasn't support from my friends. It was support from the community. After I was open enough to say, guys, I'm not okay, then the cancer community really showed up for me. Yeah.
That community is so important. You've got that as well.
I am.
I mean, you speak a lot about your experience as well.
I work with a wonderful organization called Love Your Nuts, and we go around.
Love Your
Nuts.
I love it.
See, we try and open up conversations and make it
Yes,
lighthearted, and we go around the entire Africa, the world, educating young men and women on the importance of early detection, how it saves lives, what to expect, how you can support. And that was my experience really through this whole being diagnosed and finding a community. Is like, I did the same thing you did. And I learned, like, I'm not opening up and I'm stopping myself from having people support me. I'm stopping myself from having a voice to educate others, inspire others. And that's where, like, when I started going onto social media and finding a way I could support men and share my story, it wasn't like so much to get the views. It was so much like, how can I show men that we have safe spaces to speak?
Yes.
And that just like drove me into so much, like, getting into the pageant world, getting into places where I know my voice will have a bigger platform and I can reach more. And that's what, like, even now being Mr. Global South Africa has been a wonderful experience, because I get to go to Thailand in 5 weeks and take my voice and my cause and educating the world with cancer global.
And using your platform,
That's
that
exactly
influential platform.
That's exactly it.
That's dope. So early detection, I want us to talk about that as well. Because I wonder, Cebisa, because you found out just generally, like in the morning, right, before. Did you know about, like, because whenever we talk about like breast cancer and how to detect, we're often told, just touch yourself on your breast and check.
Yeah.
Did you know about that, or
Yes,
that
I-
happened coincidentally?
No. I knew about that. So it was something that I just did regularly.
And you were able to pick it up at stage 1.
And I was
Can
able
you
to
imagine
pick it up at
people out
stage 1,
there who are not even going near those areas and they're not intentional about, and then they're probably sitting with something that they're not even aware of?
Yes. And I always say that you really need to listen to your body. Because before I actually picked up the lump, the week before, I was feeling lethargic. I was feeling some sort of way. And I went to the doctor, and it wasn't my usual GP. And this doctor thought that maybe I was just run down. So she gave me a vitamin B injection. And then 4 days later, I found the lump. So your body speaks to you.
Yeah, pay attention.
And also sometimes I always say to people, rather be safe than sorry. So if you pick up something, actually just be a pain and go and get it checked out.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
You never know. All right, it's going up to 10:30. Let's get the latest in Eyewitness News headlines. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation with cancer survivors. I want to hear from you as well. Are you a cancer survivor? Maybe you've got a loved one who has survived cancer. How was that journey for you? You can share your experience with us on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. Sfisa, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. The ANC says its former president, Thabo Mbeki, is struggling to face the reality he is no longer in leadership. Mbeki has boycotted today's convention to the National Dialogue, saying it's a rushed process and the exclusion of citizen-led leadership. The former president has been driving force at least, behind the concept of a national dialogue. More resources have been deployed for the rescue mission of a missing pilot who crashed his aircraft into the ocean in Durban. The Joint Operations Command has so far been able to recover wreckage from the light aircraft that plummeted yesterday. Police say the pilot was in the middle of completing his final display at an air show before he plummeted into the ocean. And former State Security Minister Bongani Bongo was back in the dock in the Western Cape High Court today for the restart of his corruption trial related to Parliament's 2017 Eskom's inquiry. Bongo was acquitted by the same court in 2021 after applying for a discharge following evidence that he had allegedly attempted to bribe a parliamentary official to squash the inquiry. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 11 or as it happens.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN traffic.
Well, traveling on the M1 North, we've got delays. This is between Harton Drive and Coilet Drive. That's due to an accident in the Melrose area. Please be on the lookout there. It's causing about a 20-minute hold-up. If you're traveling in the southerly direction, the scene will also affect you. And there's also roadworks taking place right near the Coilet Drive exit. As a result, about a 15-minute hold-up coming out of Greyston Drive. If you're traveling in Bedfordview towards the Gludies interchange, delays between Linksfield Road and the Gludies interchange. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between Van Buren Road and the Gludies interchange. Out in the city of Tshwane, we've got some delays on the N1 South approaching the Flying Saucer interchange, and there's been an accident in Irene. This one is along Nelmapius Drive right at Main Road, and it is causing delays. Please be on the lookout there and continue driving with care. I'll have your next traffic update at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Spar is turning up the value this week. Get ready for deals so good they'll have you heading straight to your nearest Spar or Super Spar, because nothing says local love like stocking up and saving on essentials. From today until Sunday, Spar is dropping a massive Parmalat Everfresh UHT milk that's perfect for your pantry and your budget. Grab any 2 6-packs on special and keep those cereal bowls filled morning after morning. Stock up with up to 5 deals. That's 10 6-packs per customer. Deal excludes Lacoste-free variant and is only available at participating Spar and Super Spar stores in Jozi. Spar brings you fresh and convenient deals straight from the heart of your neighborhood and community.
Dear Journal, day 3049 of trying to be an adult. I still haven't bought a recycling bin. There's a mountain of cans in my kitchen that could collapse at any moment. Anyway, what's that saying about your home being a reflection of your mental state?
Got evicted from the family home? Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's like 570 Rand a month, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
My family's struggling with snotty noses and phlegmy coughs.
Oh no! Have you tried ACC?
ACC 600 is a convenient one-a-day effervescent tablet from 14 years of age. Or now also in a no-water-needed, fruity-flavored sherbet-like granules that dissolve in your mouth. Ideal for the on-the-go adult. Ask for ACC 600 effervescent or oral powder at your nearest pharmacy to get rid of the snotties and flemings. And trust, if it doesn't say ACC, it's not ACC.
What is Overtrail? Is it off the beaten path, over the edge of comfort, or the thrill of the road less taken? It's over every bridge, every obstacle, every trail, and over to that view that takes your breath away. Overtrail means going further, exploring deeper, surrounded by the comfort and sophistication of a luxury SUV. It's this spirit that inspired the Overtrail project. Experience Overtrail in the LX and GX range. Lexus. Experience amazing.
Congratulations to the Powerball winner who won a massive jackpot of over 124 million Rand on 5 August 2025. Here's what she said.
The national lottery changed his life. I won a mind-blowing jackpot over 124 million after playing through my banking app. I'm still speechless. Panda Pusha Play for your chance at life-changing jackpot.
Will you be the next big winner? Play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 53 million Rand in total estimated jackpots today to find out. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120*7529# for USSD. Panda Pusha Play. Players must be 18 years old and play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
702 was in conversation with Wits University's Professor Andrew Forbes, unpacking how quantum science has the potential to shape South Africa's next wave of innovation and global competitiveness.
The technology we have today, digital technology, digital economy, how important is that to what we do in South Africa? It's essential, right? And what we have now is we're entering a second revolution with a quantum technology roadmap. The idea is that we're harnessing science that's been around for 100 years, but it's science that now we can put down into practical technologies, things that will help us compute faster.
702 in conversation with Wits University. Visit wits.ac.za to learn more.
Across the Desk
with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
24 minutes before 11 o'clock. A fascinating conversation this morning on our Across the Desk feature hosting cancer survivors. We've got Cebisa, who's a breast cancer survivor, Naniki, who's a skin cancer survivor, and Charl, who's a testicular cancer survivor. I want you to join this conversation on 011-883-0702. Maybe you've got a question for them about their journey, or you want to share your own experience. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. Let's start with Dima, who is in Diepkloof. Dima, good morning.
Morning, Clement. Thank you for the topic. I would just like to say I also had breast cancer. It was the aggressive type, stage 2. Went through chemo, radiation. However, around the 5th year, this is 10 years ago, around the 5th year, when other patients around me died, I suffered from survivor's guilt and even had to go through therapy. So it's something that is not discussed, that, you keep losing people and you ask yourself, why am I alive? So people go through that as well.
And some of them, it's people you were doing treatment alongside, eh?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah, Dima, so important. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling us and for sharing your experience with us. Sure, that's survivor skills. Eh?
Yeah, it's real.
It's real.
That's very
That's
real.
a thing.
Yeah.
It's real.
Sure. It's so tough because I imagine when you are journeying with people on this, you are constantly encouraging each other. Like it's gonna be fine. We're gonna be good. And then you are the one that comes out.
Yeah.
And the next person hasn't.
You're like, oh, we didn't all believe the Dululu-ness.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's hectic. Here are some WhatsApp voice notes that have come through.
Good morning. I'm a cancer survivor, 2016, and I must say it's very enlightening to listen to this on the radio. And I couldn't agree more that you need to listen to your body. Listen to your body. When things are not what it should be, don't ignore it. Have it checked out. And bloating is also another thing. I had ovarian cancer. And caught it in time, luckily, because I was bloating and didn't understand why. So I had it checked out, and it was stage 1. So very, very lucky and fortunate indeed. So please, guys, remember to have yourself checked if something's not quite what it should be. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Rosemary, you're calling from Kailami. Good morning.
Hi, Clement.
Hey.
And I had my first cancer when I was 21, cervical cancer.
21.
I had breast cancer, and I think it's about 7 years ago now I had uterine cancer. And you know, I just want to tell people it's not a death sentence. My uterine cancer, the doctor said if I hadn't come within 2 months, it would have gone too far. So, you know, I agree with what that lady has just said. You know, go if you have any funny things going on. Always just go and have it checked out. But I also want to say I don't have survivor remorse because I'm just so happy that I can tell people it's not a death sentence. I feel happy to be here. I have more work to do.
Yeah. And I love your courage and your energy, Rosemary. This is the third time now.
Third time.
And the confidence, the positivity, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling us, Rosemary. All right, we'll go to more WhatsApp voice notes in a moment. Let me read some texts that have come through. Miss Lee says, hi, Clement. Congratulations to your guests there. Unfortunately, cancer doesn't choose. You could be the healthiest person and do everything right and still get cancer. Hence, it's important. Get the recommended screenings. And if you do get cancer, please take the medication. My mom lost a number of friends and colleagues who decided to stop taking meds and take herbs. Actually, did you not have so many people giving you guys other ideas on how to treat this thing? Because I was overwhelmed with that. Like the people who knew everybody else has like a solution.
Yes.
It's like, no, do this. No, the herbs are better. Oh no, chemo is bad for you. How did you deal with that?
Oh, my goodness. I had like the juicing, just juice.
Just juice?
Yeah, just juice. I was like, what? So lucky enough, I had a very good relationship with my surgeon.
Yeah.
So I actually would take all these things that were recommended to me to him.
Yeah.
And then he would be like, okay, let's just sit down and let's just talk about this.
Yeah.
And I learned to be gracious, say thank you, and not take the advice. Because I also just felt that I've never had this before.
Yeah.
And also I was like, I need to trust something.
Yeah.
And I kept away from Dr. Google. Dr. Google's dangerous.
Yo, Dr. Google?
Yeah, that's you don't go there.
That's dangerous. So I was actually a good girl. I just listened.
Did you not start at Dr. Google at some point?
No, I was too scared. I actually realized I was actually scaring myself.
Yeah.
So I decided that, you know what, I'm going to be a good girl. I'm going to listen to Dr. Ndluni, and Dr. Ndluni is going to tell me what I need to do, and I will pretty much do that. All the other stuff where people saying you must juice, and then it was, you must try the cannabis and the this and the other. I went back and I said, they're saying that I must take cannabis oil and whatever. And he said, no, that'll be great for pain management. But it doesn't cure cancer.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I remember our family member came with a long list of Google says 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, listen here, put Google aside. If I had powers, I would take Google out of that phone because that was such a big issue. How did you deal with all this? Did you have but because your mom and your partner at the time are the only ones who knew, you didn't have.
You think even in the 2 people, nobody will go to it.
Did you?
My mom wasn't so much, right? Because I had almost shut her out. Unfortunately, shame. I really did. I was trying to protect her. But my partner went to his doctor to go have the conversation on my behalf. He came back with his own recommendations from his doctor, and I didn't Google. I could not Google. It was just too defeating for me. In as much as, remember, as I said, I was still trying to understand what, the different cancer staging and all that stuff was. I just knew that if I went down the rabbit hole of Googling my symptoms and treatments, that I wouldn't come out of it because already the way my mental state was, I couldn't cope. So I did not take any, and I mean any advice at all. From my partner and his doctor. I just stayed with my doctor.
Stay away from Google Docs. Charl, and you, because I remember I did go to Google for the first time. So when I got the news and I spoke to the doctor, I went and I checked and I went on Google quickly. And the thing about Google, it will give you time, hey? It will show you how much time you have. Even when you didn't Google that. Like, all you Googled was, okay, stage 3 or 4 of this cancer.
5 days.
How does it look? Google's like 3 months. I was like, you didn't even ask Google that. So that's very, very, very dangerous. How was it for you, Charl?
Oh, same. Hey, I was so overwhelmed with so much people. Try this, do that, do that. And at the end of the day, for me, first time experiencing it, I'm going to trust my doctors. And I was like, I want to make sure I have the best opportunity and chance of getting out the other side better. So I'll listen to my doctor, listen to your doctor, listen to your body tells you what you need, and just trust the doctor.
Oncologists the best.
They really are.
Specialists
we've got amazing oncologists.
We've got amazing oncologists.
We really do.
They literally are so caring. Like, you just feel like this is an extended family who's just happens to be a professional. And a lot of people have been blessed with incredible oncologists who walk them through that journey. Here's a question here from our YouTube link. Tembeka says, Clement, it's interesting how all 3 of your guests look healthy. I'm so curious about their lifestyles before diagnosis and after treatment. With so much information at our fingerprints, how did they navigate through that maze? So the question is, how was your lifestyles before diagnosis and after treatment? Did that change?
Funny enough, I was the girl that took a salad to lunch every day to work. I had lunch. I had salad for lunch every day.
You were that girl.
I was that girl. So when So when I got diagnosed, I was like, what do you mean?
Doing everything right.
Yeah, I was healthy. I went to gym. I was active. I led a good, healthy lifestyle. So it just was a big surprise.
You didn't need like some drastic lifestyle change because this is how you've been living anyway.
It's how I've been living anyway. So and then my friends, at work would be like, but we're the ones who were eating like KFC and
everything.
How does this work?
Yeah. And then and for you?
For me, I was like Charl. I was an athlete. I was playing soccer, playing netball, playing touch rugby, I was a swimmer. I was doing all those things throughout my schooling into varsity as well, right? So when I stopped, that's when my mole showed up.
That's very interesting.
That's when my mole showed up.
What made you stop? Were there health issues or it's just
varsity?
Like
I'm trying to live my best life in varsity.
You're busy going to freshers parties.
Yeah, I'm going to
I'm
freshers
not
parties.
going to gym today.
No, but it was in my first year
Yeah.
that my mole started, but it took me 4 years to actually get it checked. So I was naughty, unlike Cebisa, I was not a good girl. I was very naughty. But I wasn't like smoking, drinking, doing all that stuff before. So it didn't make sense to me that when I stopped, this thing came out. So
Did
I
you have to
honestly don't
change
know.
anything after the treatment? Like, I don't know, because you're scared. I don't know what they tell you, like your exposure to the sun
Oh,
or
no,
what.
no. Clement, I mean, it's in my car. I literally have about 2 bottles of sunscreen in the car. Just pump action, dab. That was always a part of my lifestyle. The sunscreen, the sun protection, the hats. That was always a part of me. That hasn't changed. I got to a point where I was doing it a little too much. You know, it's like, every 2 minutes, it's like, I'm burning. But the thing is, I really do burn. I really honestly do burn. We were at a running event just last week, and everybody's just sitting in the sun. I couldn't. They're like, no, come sit. I genuinely cannot sit in the sun. I get sick.
Well, clearly it's better that you don't.
Yeah.
Shoo. Okay, and you've said you were exercising before.
Yeah,
like,
I've been an athlete literally my whole life. I mean, I still do that for a living. I'm a personal trainer. I still do competitions. For me, I didn't change anything before or after because I've always lived a healthy lifestyle. But what I will touch on is that I had an extremely traumatic childhood. Very traumatic. None of the trauma was ever dealt with. And as I got older, went through life experience, that trauma really ate away at me and who I was as a person. And the moment I started going to therapy, my health changed. My physical health changed. And that for me was the one thing I changed, is I started sorting my trauma and what was going on inside. And now the outside is shining and glowing and happy.
Ooh, I love that. It's 11 minutes before 11 o'clock. Navashen, I'll start with your call after the break.
Light the fire this game day with a winning lineup from Checkers. Like Steakhouse Classic man-size rump steak for $149.99 per kilo. Dorsland Vors for $89.99 per kilo. And Steakhouse Classic man-size T-bone for $149.99 per kilo. Light the fire, South Africa, and let Checkers do the rest. Deals valid until this Sunday, only at Checkers.
Brush, stroke, paint, color, protect, and admire. From roof paint to exterior textures and interior silk, Warrior Paints has it all. The product range and stylish colors are amazing. And what's more, Warrior Paints has crushed prices for incredible savings. Enjoy that good old-fashioned personal service you deserve. For price, quality, variety, and service, Warrior Paints is streets ahead. Warrior Paints. Affordable, lasting luxury.
It all starts with advice from FNB Private. Because the perfect overseas trip starts with planning. Save and spend in multiple currencies with your FNB Global account and lock in exchange rates. Enjoy up to 40% off flights with eBucks Travel and order Forex on the FNB app delivered to you at no extra cost. Your adventure awaits. Unlock invaluable with FNB Private. Help changes everything. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider. TC's earn rules and limits apply.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We are also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct. To give you balanced programming, fair comments, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we are not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission. Email bccsa@nabsa.co.za. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
Across the Desk
with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
9 minutes before 11 o'clock. Let's go to your calls. Navashen, you're in Joburg. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you doing?
I'm alright. Go ahead, man.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I am a 42-year-old Indian. I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's, the very aggressive one, when I was 19.
Yeah.
And I was stage 4 when I was diagnosed. And I went for 2 chemos, and I stopped the chemotherapy myself. And with luck, and I think with God's grace, I have, I'm like over 22 years without cancer-free from Hodgkin's.
That's great.
But last year, I was diagnosed with male breast cancer. And I've been told by Mopak, so my oncologist is in Donald Gordon, and my surgeon is in Mopak. She told me that there's only 2% of men in the world that get breast cancer, and I fell within that 2%. And you know what? So when I went to get my biopsy done and stuff, so the lady called me in and she says, Mr. Governor, I need to tell you that you have male breast cancer. And I said, okay, so what's the next steps? She says, no, you sure you're okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. There's a problem. I need to solve it. So, 1 year later, I'm fine, alive and kicking.
Oh, that's great.
I think people's perception of cancer is a death sentence, and I think, and I know it's not. You know, prayer helps a lot. Positive people around you help a lot. When I had it when I was 19, I was going to be doing LLB, and I couldn't go to university and stuff because the cancer was so, far.
Sure.
But I stopped it. I stopped the chemo, which every oncologist that I see now says it's so impossible that 2 chemos can cure a stage 4 Hodgkin's cancer. Yeah. So prayer helps a lot, and you know what? Just be positive.
Yeah, being positive. Nevishan.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Yeah, Philip, you are in Northcliffe. Hi.
Hi, Clement.
Hi.
I'm a stage 3 colon cancer survivor. Last year I went through a whole lot of chemo and radiation first, then followed by chemo. And to keep a long story short, I just got this to say really, is you find out who your friends are. A lot of people knew what I had cancer, what I was going through, but they never contacted me. And a lot did, but some didn't, and probably should have. So basically, they're not my friends anymore. And it's just all they need to do. People find it hard to talk to people who've got cancer. I think that's a bit of a problem in the first place. But all you need, a phone call, how's the treatment going? Great, whatever.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Some people just don't bother.
Sure. Yeah, Philip, that's so important. Yeah. Shows you who your real friends are. I've got some messages coming through here. Simon says, Clement, I noticed that most of us men are afraid to do regular scanning because we don't want to know that we have some form of cancer that is living in our bodies, but not knowing that the earlier it is detected, the better than the chance that you can defeat it. To men listening, please check your prostate at least once a year. I had a chat with friends about, because, we've had some of our friends or people we went to varsity with who die from a stroke, or some who get cancer. And we're like, back in the day, cancer was it's older people.
Yeah. You're older now.
What do you? Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean at 32 or at? But that's the reality.
That's the reality, and I think the big thing people understand is knowledge is power.
It is,
and even if you take your statistics, prostate cancer is more relevant in your African older men, and testicular cancer is more prevalent in younger men between the ages from 12 to 30, the early 30s. So the more knowledge you have, you'll understand. Okay, I'm more prone to something happening to me at this time of my life. Knowledge is power, really it is.
And for some reason, we are too obsessed with the invasive procedure to check. I know with the gents, when you talk about prostate cancer, what are they going to do?
But you go for a PSA now,
Yeah.
Guys.
Wait, does that mean they'll have to...
We're not still doing that.
Again, it comes down to education.
Exactly.
Knowing and not being fearful when you have the knowledge.
Yeah. Uncle Jay says, good morning, Clement, and your wonderful guest there. I would like to find out from Charl, how often should I do the test? Because I went early January and the results were negative, and they told me to come back next year, Jan, for the next test. And by the way, I'm 55 years old.
Okay, well, it's the same thing. With us as well, once we go into remission stuff, they say, do your 6 months, and then like you do your yearly test. So yearly test is very important. But what I would suggest is, again, understand your body. Your body will talk to you. Your body will speak to you. Be in tune with your body. Know what's going on. And that's just the way through that year while you're waiting to have your next test. Just make sure that you're in touch with your body and you know what's going on. Your body will speak to you.
Yeah. How difficult was it to wait for the CT scan? Now you've done the treatment. Now you're like, okay, is it gone or not?
No, I think that's probably one of the worst bits about a cancer diagnosis. It's the waiting for the results. Because you don't know if this thing has traveled to other parts of your body. And then you sit there for a couple of days. I mean, I recently did another CT scan 2 years ago, and it was on a Thursday. And I had my appointment with my surgeon on the Monday. So can you imagine what I was like from Thursday up until Monday? I was not a happy camper. And then I also was putting on a brave face because I wasn't telling anybody that something was picked up at the annual mammogram. Yeah.
Sure, that's so hectic. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. This was such an informative chat.
Yeah, you never stop learning.
Insightful. Yeah, no, Cebisa, Naniki, Charl, thank you so much. You guys were wonderful.
Thank you.
It's 2 minutes before 11.
Beyond the roads they built, beyond the maps they drew, lies a place only the bold will know, where mountains rise like giants and rivers test your will. With a 2.4-litre turbo diesel and off-road capability, the GWM tank was born for this. Venture further in the Tank 300 from only $7,999 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and to book a test drive. GWM, go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of Westbank and authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
The thrill of the chase comes with great rewards in the legendary Hollywood Bets Spinner Zonke Jackpot Race. Join the run, spin selected habanero slots for fun, and stand a chance to win a share of 3 million rand. Feel the rush in the race for riches when you bet 2 rand or more every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and you could jump with Jackpot Joy. Take on the challenge and discover endless opportunities to win big. Bet now.
T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp HELP to 076 675 0710.
To live wealthier, you need to be able to grow your assets. At Standard Bank Private, you get a team of internationally acclaimed financial experts to advise you on local and global investment strategies. Plus, being with a leader in home loans, you can start expanding your property portfolio. So, come live wealthier with Africa's best private bank. Apply online at standardbank.co.za. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. We start with news just in. The leave to appeal application by the family of Zambian President Edna Lungu will no longer be heard today in the Pretoria High Court. Lawyers for the family were set to argue for leave for the matter to be heard in the Supreme Court. They are challenging a High Court judgment which ordered that the former Zambian president's remains be repatriated for burial in Lusaka. Lungu died in June in Johannesburg, and the family wants him to be buried in the country to avoid the involvement of the current Zambian president, who was his political rival. The lawyers for both parties agreed to discuss the matter out of court today and report back on Monday. The ANC says its former president Thabo Mbeki is struggling to face the reality that he's no longer in leadership. Mbeki has boycotted today's convention to the National Dialogue, saying it's a rushed process and the exclusion of citizen-led leadership. The former president has been the driving force behind the concept of a national dialogue. Speaking on the sidelines of the convention at UNISA's main campus in Pretoria this morning, ANC National Chairperson Gwede Mantashe had this to say when asked about Mbeki's absence.
One of the things that is important when you are in leadership is to let go when there is a new leader. If you don't do that, there is always going to be confusion. The convention is not about us, it's about South Africans talking to one another.
Meanwhile, UDM leader Bantu Olomisa says the doors should remain open for organizations and people who are boycotted at the event.
We are still going to go to all the sectors of South Africa, including those who are heading foundations. But I hope that President Mbeki, because of his experience and his institutional memory, he might reconsider the position when he sees that this dialogue is for all South Africans.
At the same time, the University of South Africa says it hopes the convention to the national dialogue will nurture the country's young democracy. Cebisa Mfenyana reports.
Over 100 representatives from civil organizations, NPOs and other sectoral groups have made their way to the UNISA main campus in Pretoria. The convention to the national dialogue represents the first step of government's attempt to rebuild the social compact it has with the people. UNISA spokesperson Boitumelo Senokwane says the university is happy to provide a venue for these important talks.
It's more than only teaching and learning. It's more than research. We've got the responsibility amongst the many to activate a dialogue within communities, but even beyond that, to ensure that democracy is nurtured within our societies.
Senokwane says the university cannot comment on the decision of its chancellor and former state president Thabo Mbeki to boycott today's event. Cebisa Mfenyana, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
More resources have been deployed for the rescue mission of a missing pilot who crashed his aircraft into the ocean in Durban. The Joint Operations Command has so far been able to recover wreckage from the light aircraft. Police say the pilot was in the middle of completing his final display at an air show before the aircraft plummeted into the ocean. The National Sea Rescue Institute spokesperson Craig Limbanen says they are continuing with their rescue mission after they had to pause last night due to safety concerns.
The eThekwini Municipal Lifeguards deployed lifeguards and resources to search out to sea in an ongoing search and to recover wreckage beyond the backbreakers. The NSR Rescue Craft Spirit Osevsky 6 will be deployed to assist in the ongoing search.
And the UK government has enlisted the help of influential TikTok stars to help it highlight the risks of travelling abroad for cosmetic procedures. The campaign will explain how hair transplant and dental treatments can go wrong overseas so Britons can make more informed choices before they go under the knife. In recent times, Great Britain has witnessed a surge in people who are travelling abroad to seek cosmetic treatments due to affordable cost and short waiting spans. Medical influencers will create videos guiding people about how to make their trips as safe as possible. Gold is trading at $3,344.86 an ounce. The rand is at 17.57 to the dollar, 23.80 to the pound, 20.50 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.63 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 South. This is between Grayston Drive and College Drive, and that's due to roadworks. Please be on the lookout there while travelling on the N3 North. Delays between Van Buren Road and the Gululis interchange.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 24 and 25 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, the leave to appeal application by the family of Zambian President Edna Lungu will no longer be heard today in the Pretoria High Court.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Show up for the finalist who showed up for you. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Vote for your favorite local business now on primediaplus.com.
You're with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
7 minutes after 11 o'clock. Dumelang. Welcome to the third and final hour of the Clement Manyathela Show. Thank you for staying with us here on 702 on this beautiful Friday. Coming up this hour, we're going to be celebrating 30 years of the Clicks Club card, and we're going back to 1995. So keep listening, because there's a chance that before we wrap up the show today, you could win 2,500 Rand in Clicks Club card cashback loaded straight into your club card, thanks to Clicks. Feel good, pay less, only on 702. T's and C's apply. So throughout the show, I will tell you at some point what you need to do for you to stand a chance to win this 2,500 Rand in Clicks Club card cashback. Time now for our relationship feature.
Relationship issues
Relationship talk.
on 702.
So on our relationship feature today, we're discussing the automatic habits of strong relationships. And we're going to take you through each and single one of them, because the most resilient relationships often don't rely on fireworks or grand gestures, but on these three automatic emotional habits that come so ingrained. They actually often even happen without second thought, and they are subtle. Sometimes they are unconscious ways that couples stay connected over the years, and they include real-time relationship repair. You also have, after relationship repair, you have practicing parallel play, but you also have just that space for you to have that shared love. You know, those inside jokes, the stuff that only you guys can relate to. That's also very important. So we're going to be focusing on these three, these effortless, seeming but yet powerful habits, because they can really, when they are built into your relationship, whether you're newly paired or you have built these for decades together, there's a benefit that comes in your relationship. So we're going to be exploring them with our guest Lee Joy, who's a relationship coach, joining us in studio. Great to see you, Lee Joy. How are you doing?
So fantastic on this beautiful Joburg morning.
How beautiful is the
So
day today?
beautiful.
Yeah. Now let's try and make other relationships beautiful out there. So let's just, before we begin, like, what do we mean when we talk about automatic emotional habits, and why do they matter more than just your grand gestures, especially when you're in long-term relationships?
I actually think it's a bit of a cheeky headline to the article, because I don't think any one of those three are automatic. I think it was a way to grab people's attention. I think that when you're coming to repair in real time, parallel play, and talking about the story of us, those maybe become automatic because they've been practiced.
Yes.
So if we look at the first time, repair in real time, sure, when we're dealing with conflict, there are three parts of us that speak. There's the inner child, there's the inner teenager, and then there's the adult. So if somebody triggers our inner child, that inner child could either shut down, or if it's our inner teenager, they could be explosive. And if it's the adult, then maybe they can repair in real time. So there's a lot of healing that a couple go through in order to be able to repair in real time, where each couple, each person's able to become aware of what part of me is being triggered now, and how do I soothe that part of me so that I can have a growthful interaction with my partner. But that takes work.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, how do I know that, the inner child has just been touched in his studio here, and it's the inner child that's actually taken offense and not the adult me? Because some of the things, like in hindsight, and you're like, that conflict that we had, the way I responded was actually quite unnecessary. I should have looked at it this way. I should have known. Maybe let me not say unnecessary, but I should have known to react in this way. I didn't react well. Is there a way to know if it's your inner child that's been affected in this moment?
I think my brother actually taught me this morning. I'm so grateful to him. He's visiting us from Cape Town. So, Guy, shout out to you.
Hey,
Guy. And he was saying it's actually speak to that part of you that's been triggered or hurt. Say how old are you now? And then you'll know if it's your toddler, your inner child, or if it's your teenager. Normally, the inner child is just emotion. It's just explosive emotion. That's the inner child. Because there doesn't have words for our inner children, don't necessarily have words for what we're experiencing. So it's more an explosive experience. But the inner teenager can also be explosive. I think in the moment is to ask yourself who is speaking right now and what is that, because the responsibility of nurturing the inner child and the inner teen is ours, right? And the inner adult as well. We have needs, absolutely, but the primary responsibility of satisfying our own needs, irrespective of what age is triggered, lies with us. And I think when we take that responsibility, we are able to then repair in real time.
Okay. And I want the listeners to also share their experiences of, because now we're dealing with repair in real time, right? What are you struggling to repair your relationship from? Is it often, some people will mention like cheating that happens in a relationship or in a marriage, and they're like, I tried, I thought I had forgiven him or I thought I had forgiven her, but I'm struggling to even be aroused by this person because that betrayal is still so intense. So if you want, you can just give us a call, send a WhatsApp voice note, tell us, what are you struggling to repair in your relationship? Is it betrayal? Is there something that's happened? Is it how somebody maybe reacted? Was there some kind of of violence that took place and you chose, I want to try fix? What is it that you're struggling to repair? So here's a question then, Lejoy. How do couples then spot that a repair is needed? Because some people think if something happens, they're like, that's the end of it. And I think it's more even the younger generation that, like there are certain things that happen, there's no grace that's extended. We are so quick to just leave. Like it's over. Many times, I sometimes joke with some friends who break up with their partners like 11 times in 3 years. And I'm like, wow, because we're so quick to just go, it's over, I'm done, just because something has happened. And we don't pick up if there are moments where I can repair or I can't. How do we spot that?
So I think that's what they're talking about here, is that if we repair in real time the small things, then the big things won't be as explosive. Or we're so the article I really loved about was one of the things they said was in the midst of the beginning of an argument, to be able to say something like, sure, can we just take a breath together? The other thing was like, how do I de-escalate this? How, in this moment, how do I dial it back a bit? Like a very good friend of mine, Bev, said she's been married over 30 years and she recognizes that one of them has to have a thick skin and she's the one. So it's...
but it takes a lot of courage to even acknowledge something like that. It takes a lot of courage to also not to notice that, actually I've realized I'm the one that must maybe lead in this department. That's so fascinating. What are some of the things that make us avoid repairing in relationships? Because as you say, the avoidance, because some of the things are so small, honestly, Lejoy, that if you address them in that moment, that's going to help. But we let them fester, and then now it becomes a big thing.
So there's I don't know if I have the answer because I'm really smack bang in the middle of learning that. In my Bible study, we were doing James, we were studying James where, we speak about put a guard before your mouth. And I'm learning and some of my clients are showing me and we're learning together that sometimes you do need to speak truth. Sometimes you do need to speak up. But it's how you do that. Is it in kindness and is it in love? Is it to grow somebody and not to put them down? And when is it good just to keep quiet? But if you're going to keep quiet, you need to let it go because otherwise, like you said, it festers, right? So I think what I'm trying to do in myself, and I always share so openly on radio because I want people to know that I'm in the trenches as well, whilst I work with people. In that, it's important to stand up for yourself, but sometimes it's not necessary to stand up for yourself because it's such a small thing. It's not necessary.
So that's one thing that I sometimes have reflected on. Like, I do feel that sometimes there are things that are being raised in relationships that I also think that that's not something we should be fighting over. I think there are certain things that you can just let pass, or you can just talk about it, but you don't sit someone down and says, hey, this thing happened and I feel like this all the time, because I think some of the things are just so, especially when you know the person. So would you advise that every time you feel offended or you feel that someone has done something that ticked you off the wrong way, even though you admit to yourself that maybe I'm overreacting here, should you still raise it?
Yeah, it's such a tricky one because I think it's situational.
Yeah, because you don't want the person to suppress their emotions, right? But you also don't want you to be having conflict about really unnecessary stuff that could easily be explained or resolved. So if you ask for my explanation, I can give you the explanation, as opposed to you having been offended already and you've concluded. So how do we balance the two so that Lejoy also is able to say, actually, I do want to tell you how you've made me feel, no matter how small this thing is.
Yeah, I think it's a fine balance, because I think if we continually bringing up pain points or where we're being offended, I think the other person is going to land up feeling like not good enough and continually criticized. But on the other hand, if we don't bring it up to their attention and they don't change their behavior, it's just the cycle just keeps on going. So I think I know that when I'm tired or cranky, then my tolerance for other people's nonsense is reduced, dramatically reduced. I think the question is, does this really matter? In the long run, in a week, a month, a year, is this actually going to have
in the bigger scheme of things?
Is it really going to have an impact on my life?
Yeah.
I think the other thing, when we get offended by other people, it's because our own boundaries, our own emotional boundaries aren't in place, because we're allowing somebody else's mood to dictate our feelings. And then we project that frustration onto onto the other person. Okay, fair, they've been rude or they've been judgmental or whatever they've been. But we get to decide whether we're going to absorb their mood and their frustration, or we're going to put a boundary down with ourselves and keep our own peace. I often hear people say, oh, I just want peace. Oh, I just want serenity. But it's our responsibility to safeguard our own peace, irrespective of somebody else, how they're behaving. We decide whether we're going to allow that behavior to impact us.
Okay. Before I go to some calls now, I want to ask about, like, do you repair even if you weren't in the wrong? Like, how do couples train themselves to prioritize connection over being right? Because I do feel sometimes in relationships, you're like, I mean, the only way sometimes people repair is if you actually acknowledge that you did something wrong and you must say sorry. And sometimes it's difficult to say sorry for something you didn't do, or something you didn't mean to. So do you apologize for how you've made the person feel? But what if the person takes the feelings to heart every time? Like, for instance, I get irritated if I'm talking to you over the phone and you're not concentrating and you're on Instagram, because I can pick it up in the flow, right?
Yeah.
But in the bigger scheme of things, I mean, I'll raise that with you that, hey, just be aware of this. But I'm not going to come and say, you hurt me because I was talking to you, you're on Instagram, even though I felt some type of way. But I'm able to balance what matters most here. But some people want to come with that and they still want you to sit and say, okay, I'm so sorry that this happened, and then that's repairing for them. So how do we do that when someone is not in the wrong, so to speak?
So let's use that example. How I would repair in that situation would be to, I feel like I'm losing you. Are you still there?
Yeah.
So that's a repair, right? That's because there's disconnection in your conversation. So repair doesn't necessarily mean you're in trouble. Why are it's, and that's what they talk about repair in real time, is that you can come from the adult space. If you're going, you never listen to me, and whenever we speak, you're always on Instagram, that sounds more like the inner child for me. So if we can say, okay, wait, what is the inner child needing right now? Okay, the inner child needs to feel connected. Okay, I connect to the inner child. And by connecting to the inner child, I'm like, here, I love you, you're valuable. Then we're able to say, hey, like, should we pick this call up later? You sound busy.
That's such a cool way to put it. As opposed to, how dare
sitting
you?
with the frustration, or sitting with the frustration, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is often I see with my clients, like, I'm always the one that repairs. I'm always who initiates repair. So it does. You get the avoidant partner that would rather push stuff under the carpet and doesn't really want to address difficulties. They rather just let it go and forget it and move on. And there is space for that, but if we allow stuff, there's a difference between letting stuff go and truly letting it go and shoving it under the carpet.
Okay.
If we shove things under the carpet, we're ultimately going to trip over them.
Yeah.
So if there's anything under the carpet that we need to let go of, it's a good idea to take them out from under the carpet and let them go. And if there are still things under the carpet, we need to take them out and address them.
Yeah.
But address them from the adult, right? To say, when you did this is how I felt, and in future I prefer you did this. That's
Yeah.
assertive communication, right? That's acknowledging and taking ownership of how I feel and asking for a need to be met and offering a solution for the future.
So because I'm such a defensive person sometimes, there was a time when I found a perfect way to deal with moments where you've made someone or I've been made to feel somehow, and that was like through email. Because I realized that when you raise something with me in real time, I get into defense mode. So already I'm trying to defend myself, especially because sometimes depending on how you're raising it as well. Whereas on email, if you say, hey, you remember on Friday when we were out on a date, you made me feel this way, then I'm calmer when I read your email. Then I'm able to say, oh, I'm so sorry I made you feel that way, but it wasn't my intention. But I find that when it happens in real time like that, and maybe it's because of how then it is raised, then I struggle to just be calm and take it in a different tone. I'm already like, oh, you want to fight? Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go to some calls now. 011-883-0702. Your WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702. Dr. D, you're calling us from Johannesburg.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, Clement. I'm so pleased to speak to you. And it's the most important topic you're talking about.
Yeah.
The most recognized researchers in the world on relationships are a couple called John and Julie Gottman. And what they say is there's only one difference between masters and disasters in relationships. Only one. And that is the ability to make reparation, the ability to repair. Many times so it's as important as that. So what you're wanting is to maintain as much as you can clean space. That's my own term, between you and your partner. You don't want murky space. And I heard that your expert, I'm sorry I didn't get the name, was talking about things under the carpet. You know, people do that, and the emotional carpets look like the Alps after a while. So what I want to say is that it's not the matter. You're talking about content. Is this issue worth it? Isn't that worth it? Usually, what happens is that the words are different, but the tune is the same. So if you're in a power struggle with your partner, you can be arguing about where to live, or you can be arguing about what to wear or where to go on Saturday night. It becomes really about winning and losing. And the rest is kind of the vehicle for a deep, not always, obviously there are real issues that come up, but sometimes it's like a sausage machine that churns out sausages. Each one's got a tear in it. So you fix that one, and then you fix the next one, and you fix the next one. And often what is really needed is to go into the machine. So the real dynamic that's going on that manifests in so many different ways often. As I say, not always. It can be an incident that happens. But if you get triggered kind of repetitively, you know that there's got to be something on another level. And you're quite right. People don't hear what you can't say. They don't know. You know, there's a myth that loving means knowing. If you loved me, you'd know what I want. But if the other person carries a little X-ray machine inside their brain, if you loved me, you should want to understand me. So the whole recipe for repair is, the way that I always talk about it is that there are 5 steps. The first one is, what are the facts? Second one, should I give you a quick example of it?
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, working with a couple over COVID, and this was an actually online conversation.
Yeah.
So it starts off with him saying, look, I really would need to talk to you. Is that okay? He hears, this is going to be worse than root canal treatment, So your defenses go up quickly. But the first thing are the facts. So he says to her, the facts are, I've been trying to pivot our business, over COVID, and it does require me having some meetings, every now and then. You don't encourage me. In fact, you discourage me. You tell me why I can't go. You tell me I've got responsibilities at home. You tell me that you didn't put up your hand to be a teacher. You need help. But whatever it is, it's obstructive of me. We used to feel like a team. I used to feel that you were on my side. And now, I sense that there's something different. The facts are, you stop me every time. Second step, what is the story I tell myself about these facts? So I tell myself that we're not a team anymore. We're not functioning together. We're not as we were. Maybe I used to take it for granted. But the story is to do with something major is happening in this relationship. The feelings that I tell myself about the story, or that I feel, I don't tell myself. I'm angry sometimes, frustrated sometimes, but the real feeling is I'm scared. I'm scared as hell about what's going on with this. I'm fearful, and I'm also sad. There's some sadness because of this perceived loss that I have and fear of what's going on. And at that point, what you do is you check with the other person, what did you hear? So they'll say, and I'm not going to do this for a long time, they'll say, I heard that the facts are that I stopped you. Number 2, the story you tell yourself about that is that you are not with me, we're not functioning together, and we're not a team anymore. The feelings that you tell myself that you feel are that you're very scared about what's happening. You feel sadness and also some frustration.
Yeah, and that's where I actually want to pick up. And thanks for that, Dr. D, for your call. And I wonder, Lee Joy, if how much of repairing or even raising issues has to do with the tone. Because I think we also need to learn to, what tone are we using when we are addressing issues, for instance? Like, do you just go, to use that example, you're not taking your responsibilities seriously. You don't take the kids. Yes, I understand that you are trying to grow your business, but you are becoming a reckless father because you don't come to the school's plays, Or do you sit down and be more calmer in your approach and say, I really feel like let's find ways to work on this, considering your context that you are too busy right now. Do you find that the tone sometimes is the reason why the repairing doesn't really happen and there's a conflict that happens? Because in that moment, how you raised an issue, you actually got someone to be defensive.
Tone is the filter through which we engage with each other, right? And I think the tone is set by which part of me is speaking now. So if I can speak from the adult, I can sit down and say, hey, when you said that to me this morning about the milk, a real example, my tone was not great. Sorry. So I think first understanding which part of me is speaking, and then the tone, absolutely tone plays a vital role in being able to hear each other. Esther Perel, she speaks about this work. It's not her work. I keep meaning to go and research it. I say that it's her work, but she did say the other day it's not her work. She talks about 3 reasons why people actually fight. I've done an interview. I'm not sure if it was with you. We spoke about the 3 reasons: power and control, value, and care and connection. So Dr. D speaks here about the Gottmans who do amazing work. They've got the biggest research body of work, I think, since the 70s around relationships. They do beautiful work. So I highly recommend that people go and look at that. So thank you, Dr. D, for mentioning that. And also go and have a look on, there's a podcast on 702 that we've done around the 3 reasons why people argue. But repair for me is about why do we want to repair? I want to repair. I want to still be connected to you, not attached. There's a difference. Attachment is when I seek your energy in order for me to feel better. But when I'm connected to you, I'm connected to that which is greater than me, and I allow that to flow towards you. So if you're having a bad day and you know, and you are kind of taking it out of me, do I offer that grace that you're talking about? Do I say, hey, I can see you having a bad day. Do you need anything? So that they can just become aware of how they're speaking to me, as opposed to, I really don't appreciate the way you're speaking to me. So it's just looking at how, because when I'm graceful, right? If not graceful, when I offer grace to somebody else, I'm actually offering grace to myself as well, because I'm offering myself not to get triggered. Absolutely. But I am setting the boundary by saying, hey, I can see things are a bit tough. Do you need some space? Can I make you a cup of tea?
Let's try work this out. All right, it's just after 11:30. Let's get the latest in Eyewitness News headlines. We're going to come back and continue this conversation. We'll take your calls as well. What are you struggling to repair in your marriage, in your relationship? Or what have you managed to repair in that relationship and marriage? How did you go about it? Do you repair in real time? Or are you a type that feels more comfortable? Let's talk via text. Let's talk via emails, because there we are more calmer and all of us are intentional around repairing. Share your thoughts with us. 011-883-0702. WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702. Mbali, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. The leave to appeal application by the family of Zambian President Edgar Lungu will no longer be heard today in the Pretoria High Court. Lawyers for the family were set to argue for leave for the matter to be heard in the Supreme Court. They are challenging a High Court judgment which ordered that the former Zambian president's remains be repatriated for burial in Lusaka. The ANC says its former president, Thabo Mbeki, is struggling to face the reality that he is no longer in leadership. Mbeki has boycotted today's convention to the National Dialogue, saying it's a rushed process and the exclusion of citizen-led leadership. The former president has been the driving force behind the concept of a national dialogue. And more resources have been deployed for the rescue mission of a missing pilot who crashed his aircraft into the ocean yesterday. The Joint Operations Command has so far been able to recover wreckage from the light aircraft which plummeted into the water. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at midday or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Traveling on the M1 South, we've got delays between Grayston Drive and Coyle Drive. There's also roadworks taking place along this route, so this is the reason for those delays. While traveling on the N3 North, bumper-to-bumper traffic between Van Buren Road and the Girulis Interchange. Traffic is also very slow along the N12 as well as the R24 West between Edenville Road and the Girulis Interchange. If you're traveling in the Fourways area, do be on the lookout for some delays along Winnie Mandela Drive approaching Leslie. That's due to faulty traffic lights there, while in Witkoppen we've got faulty traffic lights at Cedar Road and Uranium Street causing heavy delays. In actual fact, there's roadworks along this route, and that's the reason for that backup as well. I'm Amo Ramela. Otherwise, Karabo Jali will have your next traffic update. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
John Perlman. Weekday afternoons,
3 to 6.
Good news for the cement sector, the construction lumber sector, the steel sector, and possibly the transport sector. There may be others as well. And might we start seeing, as construction ticks upwards, at least some either job stability or hopefully new jobs in those areas of our economy?
It's a benefit not only for the construction sector, but for the entire value chain. So you will see a lot of demand for various supplies that we use in the construction sector.
John Perlman.
3 to 6 on 702.
Oh, Shane, do you have a sore throat? The Andalex range of lozenges offers two options:
At the first signs of an irritated, scratchy throat, use Andalex lozenges for dual action, soothing relief. But for a painful, inflamed throat, use Andalex C lozenges for triple action, pain relief. Andalex, SA's #1 choice for a sore mouth and throat. Andalex lozenges are available at all leading pharmacies and supermarkets.
Just Andalex it.
A sinkhole on the R21 near Olifantsfontein is being repaired, but this isn't just about restoring the road. Sunral's 154 million rand project is opening the door to new opportunities for the local community, from training and mentorship for SMMEs to jobs for unskilled labor and real experience for young engineers. This project is repairing more than a road, it's building futures. Work starts mid-September 2025. Sunral, building South Africa through better roads.
Dear Journal, trying to be an adult day 3731. I'm really struggling to explain my parents to my therapist. Might send him to live with them so he can see for himself. What if he ends up in therapy too? Wait, what if they love him more than me?
Finally learning about mental health. Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's convenient and like 19 Rand a day, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
My family's struggling with snotty noses and phlegmy coughs.
Oh no! Have you tried ACC?
ACC 600 is a convenient one-a-day effervescent tablet from 14 years of age, or now also in a no-water-needed, fruity-flavored sherbet-like granules that dissolve in your mouth. Ideal for the on-the-go adult. Ask for ACC 600 effervescent or oral powder at your nearest pharmacy to get rid of the snotties and flemmings. And trust, if it doesn't say ACC, it's not ACC.
Every Thursday on 702 Breakfast, Old Mutual Corporate tackles the tough questions around South Africa's retirement crisis and how to change the future we're heading toward within the world of work.
The resignation rate, particularly amongst younger people, is high. There's a couple of things that we believe is driving this, Bongani. I think one, financial stress is very, very high. We look at that very same report. Salaries in terms of increase on average, not really been in the same rate as the cost of living. So quite a number of workforce, in fact about 45% of the workforce is under a lot of pressure from a financial perspective.
The Old Mutual Thought Leaders Forum, Thursdays between 6 and 9 a.m. Brought to you by Old Mutual Corporate on 702.
Relationship issues?
Relationship Talk
on 702.
20 minutes before 12 o'clock, we're going to go back to our relationship feature topic today. But before then, remember I told you earlier on that before we wrap up the show today, I'm going to give you an opportunity to win 2,500 Rand in Clicks Club Card cash back loaded straight into your club card. Well, we are celebrating 30 years of the Clicks Club Card, and we are going back to 1995. If you could choose one great thing from the year 1995, what would it be? So if you could choose one great thing from the year 1995, what would it be? You can WhatsApp voice note with your number to 0727021702. So you can send us that WhatsApp voice note with the keyword clicks, your name and your ID number as well. And you could win 2,500 Rand in Clicks Club Card cashback loaded straight into your club card. Thanks to Clicks. Feel good, pay less. Only on 702. T's and C's apply.
Relationship issues?
Relationship Talk
on 702.
All right, let's hear from you now. We have been talking about automatic habits of strong relationships. We're focusing on 3 this morning. Repair in real time. We spent a lot of time on that. So we're going to have to move to parallel play in a moment. And then after we do parallel play, then we'll talk about telling the story of us. But before we move to parallel play, let's go to Sbu, who's calling us from Johannesburg. Sbu, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Clement?
I'm all right, man. What are you struggling to repair in your relationship or your marriage?
I'm struggling to repair communication with my wife, It doesn't really matter whether I wait for a week or 2. The reception will still be the same. I mean, every time when I try to communicate how I feel, I get dismissed, or should rather be on a phone or put headset or just put on the music loud. I mean, to this point, I've sought advice from the elders, but we're still not winning. I mean, just a few weeks ago, we had a family meeting, and she's just stomped out of the meeting with everyone's presence. And then, as I'm speaking to you now, she has since moved out. And then I was like, you know what, let me wait a week or two before I can try and call her to communicate, thinking that by the time I call her, she will be calm. I still got the same reception. I mean, this has really affected me mentally.
Is there something that's happened, Sbu, that's making her react like that? Was there any betrayal before? Is there something she's struggling with? Are there other issues that are underlying here?
There wasn't any betrayal before. There has just been someone that does not want to be spoken to. For everything that she wants must go according to how she wants it. You know, say for instance, we've been struggling in terms of our sexual life, right? So, and every time when I try to address that, she still does not listen to me, you know. We've been married for 2 years now, but would go like weeks without any intimacy. And then every time when I try to address that, she still does not want to seem to be listening, you know. So I just don't know what to do. I've asked advices. I've said we must do therapy. She's still not keen. And as we speak now, she has moved out. I was like, you know what, maybe she just needs time to clear her head. We no longer in each other's space. Let me just call her after 2 weeks. I called her after 2 weeks to try and communicate. The reception was still the same.
Oh, yeah, Sbu, and you guys have to talk at some point. She can't also keep not wanting to talk, because that's how you're going to resolve the situation. Yeah. Sbu, thank you for raising that with us, man, and all the best. Lee Joy, any advice for Sbu?
Sabu, I'm so sorry. It's very painful to want to be in a situation with somebody where you want to repair and they're not interested in repairing. I guess there's also, for your own sense of sanity and mental health, you know, somebody who doesn't want to repair over a long period is also an answer, you know, and I think that if she had to come to me and if you guys had to come to me and she would say to me she doesn't want to talk to you and she's responding in the same way, I think that's an answer. I think it's
because the elders were there and she's
done. They've done all the processes. So, like from a cultural point of view, you've tried.
Sbu has tried to say, let me wait for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it's still the same thing. I would move on. I would wish her love and peace and obviously she's struggling with something that she would probably do better to come to individual therapy to try and figure out what the emotional block is. But it definitely sounds to me like somebody who's stuck in a pattern that is really struggling. And unless she's going to get help with it, she's going to continue to bleed on you, Sabu. So I don't often tell people to walk away, but I think in this situation, I would suggest maybe come and see me and let me see how I can help you to strengthen yourself and come back to a place of equilibrium. Because a canny road when another partner is hell bent on not understanding us and not showing up and not growing, it's not good for our sense of self.
I mean, that's not gonna work. We have to talk at some point. Yeah, Sbu, all the best. I'm gonna put you back to the producers and we'll try link you up with Lee Joy. Let's see. Please, all the best, brother. Okay, Lee Joy, I want us to get to parallel play now. Can you imagine all this time we're talking about repairing? Because that's a big one in relationship.
Yeah, but maybe we should do parallel play in another session and just finish. Yeah, I think let's keep with repair. It's a big thing. Are they WhatsApps?
They are lots of WhatsApps. So I'm happy to do that. So we can look at repair and then next time we do parallel play and telling. Should we not do telling the story of us? Because, you know, it's not just all doom and gloom. There's also beautiful things to look at. So I'm going to park parallel play, but I want us to do telling the story of us. Here's a message here. Hi, Clement. Please keep me anonymous. I'm struggling with my partner. I seem to attract people with an avoidant personality, and that bothers me so much. And those people struggle to communicate. I just came out of such a relationship, but it seems I'm with the same person now in my new relationship. How do you navigate that? I love him. I want to give us a chance, but I'm struggling. But I'm such a communicator. So, any tips for this listener who is with someone who has an avoidant personality? Can I say, and coming from someone who has struggled with vulnerability but has done a lot of work, from reading Brené Brown's books.
She's amazing.
She's
I love her.
amazing. The queen of.
Yeah.
So I've read Brené Brown. I've done therapy, still do. So
Good
because
for you.
I do want to be affectionate. I do think it's weird that I struggle to even say I love you to my mother. That's not normal, I don't think. And I do think all of us have to do some kind of work. But here's one thing. Nothing is going to get to you as someone who calls you by names. And I think that happens a lot in relationships where when someone is not affectionate, there's no grace of understanding why they're not. But the quickest thing to do is to call names. Like, you are avoidant. Or some people maybe will be with narcissists. You are a narcissist. Or some people are with different kinds of people. Calling people's names, that doesn't help. That doesn't help. Like, you're avoidant, you are this, as opposed to, hey, let's talk. Like, why do you think you're not comfortable to have these conversations like that? How do we have conversations in a way that doesn't compromise both of us but still gives us the space to be honest?
So what I found to work with avoidant people is to say to them, listen, can we have a sit down and have a chat? This is how I'm feeling, and I'd like you to take away what I'm saying. And when you feel that you can come back to me with what's going on for you, and then let's have a conversation. And often when you take that pressure off an avoidant to speak about it right now, they listen better, and they don't feel... avoidance don't trust themselves. They're scared of what they're going to say in the moment, so they avoid saying it, because no matter what they say, they feel like they're going to get into trouble.
Yeah.
So if you share with them from a place of, not from a place of you did this and more so if you share from a place of, sure, I'm really feeling vulnerable at the moment because I have this desire to be intimate with you, and I'm initiating to be intimate with you, and you're not being intimate with me, which makes me feel like there's a problem in our relationship, and I don't know how to navigate that bridge with you. And I wonder if you can go away and have a think about it so that we can come back, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about that, because maybe there's something going on for you that I'm not aware of, and I'd really love to know what that is.
Yeah. Okay, got it. I've got some more messages coming, but I want us to, let's go to sharing our own stories first, and before we go to some more messages there. So when we talk about a shared language, what are we talking about? Because I do think that sometimes, without even realizing, emotionally safe couples speak in a kind of shared language. Like when we do things like, oh, that is so us, or remember when we did this, or they've got their inside jokes. How does something like that, just telling that story of us, help strengthen relationships?
So I went away to the South Coast for a holiday, which was the lower South Coast. My goodness, what a beautiful part of the country. I'm gobsmacked at how beautiful. And it's clean, and the restaurants were insanely beautiful, like delicious food, I just have to say. A big shout out to the South Coast. But then we went to friends in Moy River, and they got like irritated. The friend got irritated about something, and I looked at my partner. I said, "It's not just us." And it's those kinds of things. It's being able to laugh at ourselves, or like telling like how we met to new friends, or it's so funny. Like he watches one series on his phone, and I watch this on mine, and at the same time, and some people go like, "Wow, that's very disconnected." But in some way, it's quite intimate, because now I'm not forcing him to watch drama, and he's not forcing me to watch Aliens.
Yeah.
So it's actually better. So it's just, I think. My partner said it last night, and I really admired him for saying and reminding us that, we can take ourselves so seriously and take each other so seriously. And I think that when we tell stories of us, it's telling, and we can also tell like intense stories, like we had this difficulty, like in a friendship circle, we had this difficulty and we overcame it, and it, and it becomes a story of repair and a memory that was maybe difficult to go through, but we got transformed from it. So I think sharing stories of us, like funny stories or deep, meaningful stories, is definitely a way for us to connect. This article is very much around, with the three things, the parallel play, the story of us, and the repair, is very much about how do we strengthen our connection. And so repair obviously is one of the most important, but I think also thinking back and like, is this thing like a big thing? And remember that memory of us, like I really remember, I love that, we've done that. We haven't done that for a while, or
share beautiful stories. Relationships are made up of so many things, and it's not just conflict that grows you, but it's also the wonderful stuff, the inside jokes, the going back to, like, watch your videos together when you're on holiday, like 3 years ago, 6 months ago, whatever. Just share those wonderful stories. It's 8 minutes now before 12 o'clock.
As a business owner, would you rather deal with stacks of slips at the end of each day or have recons done instantly? Introducing Yoko Counter, the new all-in-one payments and points of sale system that removes the guesswork, the paperwork, and the time drain. Taking your business from chaos to control, guesswork to clarity, giving you back time to focus on what truly matters. Visit yoko.com today to find out more about the simple yet powerful out-of-the-box solution with free built-in point of sale software.
Do you know what's hiding behind the colorful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt, and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front of package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front of package warning labels. Sign the petition on heala.org, HEALA.org, by the 30th of September.
Outsurance is simply the best at raising their own bar. Outsurance scored 9.99 on the Hello Peter Trust Index, a near 5-star rating on Google reviews, and have outperformed their personal best on the number of complaints referred to the Ombudsman per 1,000 claims. Switched to the insurer that keeps raising the bar. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za today. You always get something out. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
Relationship issues?
Relationship talk.
On 702.
6 minutes before 12. Una, you're calling us from Johannesburg. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement.
Hi, go ahead. What's your story? What are you struggling with?
Okay, I'm struggling with almost everything that Lee Joy has mentioned.
Yeah.
Yes. So we don't communicate at home. When I'm always the one who wants to solve issues or resolve or wants to talk, And I acknowledge I'm not a communicator myself.
Yeah.
But I understand that in a marriage or in a relationship, you have to talk, So I think my husband avoids things by keeping quiet, thinking that it's gonna solve itself. So basically, he just shoves. We both shove things under the carpet.
Have you guys tried therapy, Una?
Yes, we've tried, and I can say it only works for some time, and like a few months, and then it doesn't work. We go back, we go to reset, we go back to the original ourselves.
Sure, yeah. Una, thanks for that. Lee?
There's a style of communicating that I teach in my therapeutic process, so you don't have to come for a long time of therapy, that helps to, I teach a style of communicating, so that when you use that style of communicating, any issue becomes something where you can both get on page with. Yeah. So it's Dr. D spoke about it as well. Is the story we tell ourselves about what happens stands in the way of the facts of what's actually happening. And if we don't get on the same page and understand, so you heard me say that, even though this is what I meant. Yeah. Oh, okay, now I understand your response. Oh, okay, cool. So sorry. Yeah. So it's just getting on page.
Please share your contacts quickly, Lee, because there are a few people that have been asking about how to come through for sessions with you.
With pleasure. WhatsApp is 079 525 8991. And then I'm on socials on Lee Joy Inspires on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Lee Joy Inspires. Check it out. 079 525 8991 if you want to see Lee Joy. And Una, I think just give that a try as well. Maybe it's going to help open your husband up to having these conversations. Lee Joy, always great to have you on the show, helping us.
God bless you.
It's 4 minutes before 12.
Whenever you hear deep in the heart and art of jazz, think Sia Makuzeni with the big band, Jasmine Horn, Alun Wad, The Baylor Project, Jose James Sings Badu, Umusangare, Esperanza Spalding, Michelle Dugiocello, Elaine, Trezo, Munei, Mondli Ngobo, and many other spectacular icons. Think Standard Bank Joy of Jazz Festival, 4 stages at the Sandton Convention Center, 26th, 27th, and 28th September, and take me there. Book via Ticketmaster.
And there you go, your favorite latte, hot and ready.
You never disappoint.
Listen, did you see that email? God, it's going down. Let's catch up later. Got another Zoom meeting.
Oh, okay, cool.
Later.
Meet our audience. They are working, living their lives, sharing stories, and always listening. So if you're going to interrupt them, it better be good. Prime Media Broadcasting Sales. We help you connect with every productive, innovative, and dynamic individual in our audience. From the open plan office to the executive suite. Contact us at advertise@primemedia.co.za today.
As a business owner, would you rather deal with stacks of slips at the end of each day or have recons done instantly? Introducing Yoko Counter, the new all-in-one payments and points of sale system that removes the guesswork, the paperwork, and the time drain. Taking your business from chaos to control, guesswork to clarity, giving you back time to focus on what truly matters. Visit yoko.com today to find out more about the simple yet powerful out-of-the-box solution with free built-in points of sale software.
It's Feel Good Friday, and Clicks is giving you a reason to celebrate with your shot at winning 2,500 Rand Clicks Club Card cashback on 702.
Who walks away with 2,500 Rand in Clicks Club Card cashback? I asked you a question. If you could choose one great thing from the year 1995, what would it be? Tamsanga, you have been chosen. What would be your answer?
Hi, Clement. Definitely for me, it was the Rugby World Cup.
Oh, the Rugby World Cup, 1995. Yeah. Who can forget that moment? Well, Tamsanga, guess what, my friend?
Yes.
You have won.
Wow.
2,500 Rand in Clicks Club Card cashback. Congratulations to you. Thanks to Clicks Feel Good. Pay less on 702. Choose your health. Choose Clicks with a wide range of self-medication savings such as Benylin for flu syrup, 200 milliliters for 103 Rand, Corenza C, 20 effervescent tablets for 169 Rand, and Maybelline 30 tablets for 93 Rand 99. Fight the flu with Clicks Winter Wellness Remedies to relieve symptoms and boost immunity. Choose your health. Choose Clicks. Feel good. Pay less.
Coming up
on the Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
How you doing, Mandy?
Good, thank you, Clement.
What's popping vandag?
Vandag, the National Dialogue. The President is busy delivering the opening address, opening the National Dialogue, speaking about the importance of dialogue as well. We'll have a look at the situation with the SANDF chief in Iran and the diplomatic fallout around that. It is the 13 years since Marikana. We'll speak about that. The appeal by Edgar Lungu's family, that has been postponed. And then it's Friday, Clement.
Sports.
And
such a big sporting week.
Such a big sporting week. So we've got Drickus. We're speaking to CS Duplessis. We've got the Proteas. We've got the Springboks. There's Pirates playing. There's a lot. There's Premier League, all sorts of stuff.
All right, that's what's coming up on the Midday Report with Mandy Wiener. Thank you for listening to the Friday edition of the Clement Manyathela Show. We're back with you again on Monday between 9 and 12. Have a beautiful weekend, my friends. Bye-bye.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. The leave to appeal application by the family of Zambian President Edgar Lungu will no longer be heard today in the Pretoria High Court. Lawyers for the family were set to argue for leave for the matter to be heard in the Supreme Court of Appeal. They are challenging a High Court judgment which ordered that the former Zambian